Boy, do we have a banger lined up for you today. I hope your seatbelt is working. Have a wonderful time. See you. No. Get it. Welcome in. We're gonna set the house on fire. We're gonna show you the anatomy of the setup from the beginning. I have never been more convinced than I am sitting here right now that this is a multi-agency cover-up designed to frame Tyler Robinson for the sole planning and execution of Charlie Kirk. I've never been more confident than I am now. I will explain a little more during the program why I am so confident of that statement. It starts with something we've reported on 4 separate shows, and we will quintuple down on tonight. Tyler Robinson was in custody in Washington County well before 6:30 p.m. on September 11th. It's just a fact. It's been confirmed. I can't tell you how yet, but when you figure it out, you'll understand. This is a fact, and it begins to expose a multi-agency cover-up because you have Kash Patel saying he was not in custody until after, I think, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, something like that, 33-hour manhunt. That's a weird number they always choose, 33 hours. You have the sheriff of Washington County, the now disgraced former sheriff of Washington County, saying he did not get the call until 8:02. That's weird, Mr. Sheriff, because your sheriff's department had him in custody. It's a weird time to get a call. And then we have made up Discord messages that purport to be Tyler Robinson. And we've got to explain those somehow. So we will get to all that. As the show develops. We also have other, I think, pretty bulletproof evidence of a cover-up. And as you see we're going back in time now. It's almost 10 months ago. We're 9.5+ months past when all this happened. But the question is, why are they framing Tyler Robinson in particular? Well, I don't know that I have an answer for that quite yet. I think I'll speculate after tonight that there were potentially other patsies there, and Tyler just drew the short straw. I think we'll show evidence of that tonight as well. And I will, after we do the opening statement, I will show you someone I have confirmed with my own 2 ears. Though they are hearing impaired as they are, I do wear enhanced devices when I talk on the phone. And I was able to confirm that the family believes Tyler Robinson did not do this. He did not kill Charlie Kirk. Now, you've been told otherwise. His mom and dad turned him in. They're going to testify against him. They're weirdly absent from the preliminary hearing witness list. You noticed that, right? So the question is, with all this evidence that he did not solely plan and execute Charlie Kirk, may not have taken a fatal shot at all, probably did not take a fatal shot at all, almost in all likelihood did not. Why are they continuing down this road? We'll speculate. As I get into the opening, I want you to consider that this is a high IQ outfit. This is not a podcast for fed slop or stupid people. So if you're a fed slop or a stupid person, you're not going to be able to contend. You're not going to be able to keep up. I don't do this for the numbers. I don't care if we have 1,000 or 100,000, as long as they're high IQ people, because we move quickly and we cover a lot of ground. And we have to set the stage at a number of different levels. Tonight, we'll get to a fundamental principle of American law. We'll talk about why it exists, where it came from, and what it means in application. And then we will talk about how it applies in the Tyler Robinson case. It's important. And then we will get to the fireworks shortly after that. What else is on the run? I think that's be a setup, more setup, a little more setup. Oh, yeah. Oh, for the haters. For the haters who acted like I misused a source's piece of information. This may be too inside baseball for a lot of you. But I was accused, ladies and gentlemen, believe it or not, your humble host was accused of misusing source information. Nothing could be further from the truth. Allow me, if you will, just a moment to pull up did they delete their things? They must have deleted them. Interesting. I was accused of misusing the photo I put up the other day of the burn on, or the negative space or whatever it was on Charlie Kirk's body, because Blake Bednarz did one of the snakiest, nastiest, most disgusting things I've seen done in a long time. I don't record phone calls. I don't. I don't broadcast phone calls to people who don't know they're being broadcasted. I think that's snake behavior. I think it loses trust from people forever. Happens in this business far too often. And that's what happened the other night. Maybe last night. I can't remember when it was. But Blake Bednar's reached out to Charles McClintock Wilson, the person who provided me the photo that I clipped and sent up the other night. Charles gave a really kind of weird answer when Blake asked if he allowed me to put that up, if he gave me permission to put that up. And I had to drop the text chain on X. I can't find it because I think they've all deleted their challenge of me after I put the receipts up on X today. So I'm looking at my replies. Oh, here it is right here. Here it is right here. Yeah. They all accused me of fabricating or lying about getting written permission. I just want to show this for the haters. If this doesn't interest you, we'll be done with this in about 30 seconds. But this is the permission. This is Charles McClintock Wilson. This is me, Friday morning, the morning I put it up. Hey, this is Barron. Can you hit me back when you get stirring? Hey, Barron, what's up, brother? I'd like to use one small portion of that photo, cropped to show only a small part of his chest. No face, no dripping blood or gore. Okay. Like, what more do you want? I even talked to him on the phone and double confirmed it. So shut up. Contend with the picture, not the permission. You're contending with the permission. Contend with the picture, not the permission. Okay, with that, I want to get to the opening statement. Because I've had to swat away the haters. They're just growing in number. They're horrific. These people have no souls. No, they do have souls. They're just tainted. Oh. Now we got to get to law school class. This is Law School 101 for some of you seasoned attorneys. For others of you, it might give you insight on a common phrase you use all the time. You ready? Here we go. This is your opening statement. Sometimes forget. We as a society, we as a country, we as a people, we as a media, sometimes forget that Tyler Robinson is still legally innocent. In legal terms, in the public vernacular, he's considered innocent until proven guilty. And it's easy to forget, particularly when a broad chorus led by the wife of the decedent and the president of the United States have declared him guilty. This is before he's even afforded a preliminary hearing, which won't take place until next week. He hasn't had access to basic discovery, like the rifle that was supposedly fired. I mean, just basic discovery. Nevertheless, he remains incarcerated. He's unable to speak publicly. This, while a broad swath of social and traditional media almost daily state that he alone planned and executed Charlie Kirk. He has no means of responding. So in the American criminal justice system, there's this maxim we use, innocent until proven guilty. And it remains a cornerstone principle that shapes every stage of a criminal prosecution. It's not a mere slogan. It's not a polite fiction. It's a fundamental legal presumption, and it has deep historical roots. It has constitutional underpinnings, and it has profound practical consequences. This standard requires that the government bears the full burden of proving a defendant's guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. This is before any punishment can be opposed. It protects individual liberty against the unbelievably immense power of the state. And it reflects this deliberate societal choice we make. All of us together make this deliberate societal choice about how to balance public safety on the one hand and the risks of error in the judicial system on the other hand. The phrase itself has deep meaning. It's not a hollow slogan. It means that every person accused of a crime begins the legal process and maintains his standing in the legal process every step along the way with a clean slate in the eyes of the law. The defendant is quite literally presumed to have not committed the crime. He's innocent of the charges against him. This presumption remains until the prosecution overcomes that presumption, and they have to do it with sufficient evidence in the courtroom, not the court of public opinion. It's critically a legal presumption. It's not a factual one. So it doesn't assert that the accused person is factually innocent or that they probably didn't commit any crimes. Rather, it allocates the burden of proof entirely to the government. And it sets a very high evidentiary threshold. In other words, you're under no requirement to believe it in the public. If your neighbor's charged with crimes against children, you don't have to let your kids go play in his house because he's innocent until proven guilty. You're allowed to make your own presumptions. In practice, this innocent until proven guilty means that the prosecution has to prove every essential element of the crime charged. And it means that the standard of that proof is beyond a reasonable doubt. It's the highest standard in American law. It's almost absolutely certain every step of the way. And it also means the defendant doesn't have any obligation to cooperate. He doesn't have to prove his innocence. He doesn't have to present evidence. He doesn't have to testify. And if he chooses not to do any of that, it can't be used against him. Juries have to be instructed on this presumption. And more importantly, juries are required to acquit, not encouraged, but they are required to acquit the defendant if there's any reasonable doubt on any essential element of any crime. And that means that the presumption applies at trial, but it also influences related proceedings, such as setting bail or other administrative matters. If the prosecution fails to meet this burden, the defendant has to be set free. This is true even if the jury believes the person's probably guilty. That's because probably guilty isn't the standard. It's not because the system values letting guilty people go free for its own sake. It's because it prioritizes avoiding the conviction of innocent. It embodies this adversarial nature of the American trial court system. We have the state and we have the accused, and they are positioned as opponents in the courtroom. And there's a neutral fact finder that sits on the outside and watches it all take place and then makes a decision based on the evidence in the courtroom, not anything that took place outside of the courtroom. This didn't originate in the United States, believe it or not. A lot of people think this is a uniquely American idea. It is not. It was actually inherited from English common law. It was refined in the United States, to our own credit, through centuries of development. But it started in England. In the 15th century, there was a barrister who argued that it was better that 20 people who are guilty go free than one innocent person be condemned. There was another guy named Sir Matthew Hale that was like, whoa, 20 is a lot. Let's dial that back to 5. And he recommended a ratio of 5 innocent people. Well, that doesn't matter. There are 5 guilty people. It doesn't matter in practical terms whether it's 20 or 5. The point is the same. And this recognizes this long-standing conviction that innocent is unique. It's irreversible. Once you label someone guilty, you've tainted them. William Blackstone, if you went to law school, you've heard of William Blackstone. If you haven't, you probably still have. He was an unbelievably influential 18th century legal scholar. And he articulated what became known as Blackstone's ratio. He saw the one guy arguing 20, he saw the other guy arguing 5, and he said, I'm William Blackstone. We're going with 10. It became known as Blackstone's ratio. Better that 10 guilty persons escape than one innocent person suffer. And even though he was in England, his work profoundly influenced American legal thought because he was really popular at the time the United States was being founded. In fact, the founding fathers drew incredibly heavily on English law traditions, including Blackstone in particular. But what they were trying to do was avoid the abuses they associated with unchecked sovereign power. So in colonial America, in the early republic, the idea that you were innocent until proven guilty resonated quite strongly. The colonists had experienced pretty arbitrary prosecution by British authorities, even being kidnapped and forced into military service. This principle of innocent until proven guilty kind of helped ensure that criminal law might serve as some sort of a buffer or a shield rather than a tool of oppression over people who couldn't fight government power. There are no words in the United States Constitution that say someone is innocent until proven guilty. It doesn't exist, so don't go looking for it. It doesn't appear. But the principle itself sort of does. It's in the Due Process Clause of the Fifth Amendment, maybe tied into the states through the 14th Amendment. The Fifth Amendment protects you against the deprivation of life, liberty, and property without the due process of law. Of course, the 14th Amendment has been tagged on to all the others and forced onto the states. That's fine. The Supreme Court has explicitly, though, affirmed this presumption. They first outlined it in actual words back in 1895. Supreme Court declared, admittedly unnecessarily wordily, because that's how the Supreme Court talks, the principle that there is a presumption of innocence in favor of the accused is the undoubted law, axiomatic and elementary, and its enforcement lies at the foundation of the administration of our criminal law. That's how judges talk. They shouldn't, but they do. The justices emphasize that this presumption is a substantive rule and it requires proper jury instruction so that the jury itself understands that the person is innocent until proven guilty. It wasn't until 1970, believe it or not, that the United States actually held that this burden of proof beyond a reasonable doubt applies to every single necessary fact that constitutes the crime. This decision was reinforced by the Supreme Court a few years later because they can't ever just seem to leave well enough alone. But nevertheless, they drive it home a little bit further by talking about the incredibly high stakes involved, including the loss of liberty and the stigma of conviction. What these rulings do is make clear the Constitution does not spell out the phrase verbatim, but it does provide a structure of due process, fair trial rights, protection against self-incrimination, and collectively, they mandate this presumption. So that's all nice in theory. But what about in practical terms? How does it actually play out in real life? Well, we're watching it now in Utah because the presumption exists almost solely because of this incredible asymmetry of power between a vast, unbelievably powerful government and an presumably innocent criminal defendant who does not have basically unlimited vast power and resources. Think about it. The prosecution controls the government controls the police force. They control the forensics labs, the flow of evidence, the expert witnesses, the prosecutors, and the judges. You get a lawyer, and it doesn't take a particularly bright legal mind to immediately recognize that imbalance and recognize that an individual defendant, even with a lawyer, is at a significant disadvantage. So stepping in and requiring the state to prove its case actually helps. It helps hedge against this risk that raw power will substitute for evidence. It also recognizes, though, that convicting an innocent person basically destroys his life. It can also destroy families, jobs, reputations, and it can do it in ways that are nearly impossible to remedy. Time in prison can't be given back. The stigma of a criminal record will linger forever. Acquitting a guilty person, while not exactly desirable, is preferable to destroying an innocent life. So Blackstone's ratio sort of articulates the preference pretty well. Society should err on the side of under-punishment rather than over-punishment of the innocent. There's some philosophical considerations. All good laws have philosophical underpinnings. I'm sorry. I'm biased, but it's true. There's the idea that the innocent until proven guilty reflects sort of this Enlightenment value in which the United States was born. Values of individual dignity, natural rights, limited government. And it's the idea that liberty is the default condition of humanity and that the state has to then justify any deprivation of liberty, and it must do it with overwhelming evidence. But it also has pretty practical benefits for the justice system itself. This high standard encourages really thorough investigations. It discourages sloppy or even coercive practices. Police forces and prosecution teams recognize this reality, so they take care and caution even with the smallest of cases. But perhaps most importantly of all, it promotes public confidence in convictions. When people believe there's some system that requires actual proof and not just an accusation or a finger point from a powerful person, people are more likely to respect the outcomes. In legal practice, the presumption of being innocent until proven guilty has application on jury instructions, for example, and it shapes the arguments at every stage. It even influences appellate review. Of course, the system faces challenges. All systems face challenges. For example, the vast majority of criminal cases, well over 90% in most jurisdictions, are resolved through plea bargains, not criminal trials. Well, this raises obvious questions about whether the full protections of the presumption are actually fully realized by the criminal defendants. Because with a plea bargain, you don't get review typically. You also have pretrial detention. It seems to fly in the face of the presumption of innocence. There are obvious and undeniable disparities in access to quality legal counsel. O.J. Simpson got a better lawyer than your average street thug. There's a media coverage problem in America. No doubt about it. They can prejudice public perception. The media itself, this is a little interesting. The media itself being a constitutionally protected class, having that media, the constitutionally protected media, get paid to undermine the constitutionally established judicial system is an undeniable conflict. And I don't know what the resolution is. I don't know how you would resolve that. Nevertheless, despite all these imperfections, despite all the problems in application, this enduring notion that a defendant is innocent until proven guilty, this remains an essential component of American law and, perhaps by extension, human liberty here in America. It forces the state to do its job, at least properly. It reminds society that the cost of the occasional acquittal of the guilty is preferable to the certainty of convicting an innocent person. It is not and should not be considered an obstacle to justice. We operate in a new media environment. I don't think anybody doubts that. Anyone with a keyboard or a camera can reach a pretty wide audience. So gone are the days of Walter Cronkite being this sole source of truth in American media, this gatekeeper of what's allowed to be discussed and not. Now almost anything goes. And that's why perhaps now more than ever, this unbelievably vital principle must continue to anchor the American commitment to the rule of law. The requirement that we consider someone innocent until proven guilty. It ensures that accusations alone are never enough, and that proof beyond a reasonable doubt, fairly obtained, rigorously tested, must always precede punishment. And that is your opening statement. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. I felt like giving it because over the last few days, I have noticed an uptick in the Tyler Robinson must die. I mean, it's really dark what's being said out there. And I don't know why it's upticking. I think it's because every time the decentralized investigation, every time your humble host, Candace, Ali Top Files had a good podcast on today. Every time somebody comes with new information and it starts to look more and more like Tyler Robinson's being framed, or maybe he didn't do it, man, this effort to convict Tyler goes into overdrive. And I'm telling you right now, there is information that has not yet been released that is devastating to the state's case. It's devastating to TPUSA. It's devastating to all these Fed sloppers who keep running in behind the scenes, trying to white knight for Erica. Trust me, bro, she's not your type, or you're not her type. You don't have to try to win her over. She doesn't even know you exist. She doesn't care. I don't know if they're doing it for pay. I don't know if they're doing it for clout. I can't quite tell what it is. I think one of the things that happens is they put these guys on group texts, and all of a sudden they're in a group text with pretty powerful people, and they don't want to get kicked out. I think it's as simple as that. They're like, oh, everybody else is going along with it. I guess I will too. I'd like to stay in this group text. I feel very important. I feel very, I belong. I'm somebody. No, you're not. No, you're not. They hate you. They'll throw you away in a second if they need to. All right, let me run through some of this because I'm going to open here because I know for a fact this stuff is true. Cannot tell you how I know, but I can tell you that over time you will find out. Let me back it out just a little bit so you guys can see who this is. Ooh, there we go. This is Diligent Denizen on X. This is Diligent Denizen on X. It's a great place to start here. If you've ever wanted to follow him, he's a pretty cool follow, Diligent Denizen. He says here, the family of Tyler Robinson confirms that Tyler did not confess to his parents to killing Charlie Kirk. He told them specifically he did not kill Charlie Kirk. He further confirms that Tyler's parents do not believe Tyler killed Charlie Kirk. He goes a step further to say Tyler's parents called their bishop out of fear for his safety, not because they believed he was guilty, but because they thought he would die in a shootout with police or someone else. And that neither Tyler nor his parents told the bishop or the sheriff that Tyler killed Charlie Kirk. In other words, this notion that Tyler Robinson's parents turned him in because they knew he was guilty and that they told somebody he was guilty is a lie. It is not true. It's being repeated on a daily basis. It is being considered an artifact in the case against Tyler Robinson. And what Diligent Denizen is reporting is that the family disputes that. They're not saying that's true. So someone changed the narrative. Who was it? It's only a few people. It could either be the bishop. It could be Mike Mitchell, the retired sheriff deputy who helped get Tyler Robinson from Tyler Robinson's parents' house to the sheriff's department. Or it could be the disgraced former sheriff who was stepped down just a few weeks ago. The one who said he got the call at 8:02. I believe he was lying. He looked like he was lying, and I do believe he was lying. One of those three, I believe, changed the narrative. I'm not sure which one. But the retired sheriff is who drove Tyler to the sheriff the afternoon of September 11th, 2025. Not the late evening, the afternoon, broad daylight, bright daylight, early afternoon, well before 6:30 p.m. Tyler's parents accompanied. They came along. Why wouldn't they? It's their son. They want to support him. And more importantly, the family reports his phone was confiscated as soon as he arrived at the sheriff's office, and that is completely consistent with protocol in every sheriff's office in America. If you're coming to turn yourself in, if you're coming to, I don't know what the right word is here, but if you're showing up at the office and you're considered any kind of a suspect, they're not letting you keep your stuff. You're emptying your pockets when you walk in. So I want to show you this series of text messages. Let me kill the noise there. That Denizen has with a Tyler Robinson family member. This is the green is Denizen. The gray is Tyler Robinson's family member. And when I say family member, I'm not talking third cousin twice removed. I do know who the family member is. I will not tell you who the family member is. But it's very close family member. I can't emphasize that enough. This is not like a distant cousin. This isn't someone who hasn't seen him in years. This is a family member. So just to be clear, says Diligent Denizen, Tyler told his dad, Matt, that he did not kill Charlie Kirk. That is correct. That is correct. Tyler told his dad, Matt, that he did not kill Charlie Kirk. Do Tyler's parents think he killed Charlie Kirk? No. Did the parents call the bishop because they thought Tyler was guilty or out of fear for his safety? Safety. Down there at the bottom. I don't know if you can see it. It says safety. So we scroll forward because I don't like the sounds that are overlaid on a lot of these text messages. Here is the next one. No, they were confirmed. So when they called the bishop, did they tell him, meaning the bishop, that they killed Charlie Kirk? No, they were concerned for his safety. So the time the retired sheriff came and picked up Tyler and his parents was on September 11th in the afternoon. Yes. In the afternoon. Yes. So to clarify, Tyler never told his parents, the bishop, or the sheriff who gave him a ride, the retired sheriff, Mike Mitchell, that he killed Charlie Kirk. That is correct. So why does this persist? If this is true, and I believe it is, I at least know Denizen is accurately reporting it. I can tell you that. I can promise you he's accurately reporting what he's being told. And I can promise you he's being told by the family. So why does this notion persist? Well, your guess is as good as mine. Because the only thing I can come up with is he's being framed. He wasn't supposed to be alive. He rightly feared for his safety. And I think had Tyler Robinson not turned himself in the early afternoon, he'd be dead. We wouldn't be here tonight talking about the case 9.5 months later. Whoever did it would have gotten away with it. Period. End of story. But we're here because Tyler's alive. We pray he stays that way. Let me run through some of the things that further my notion that we're right on this. I want to go to a press conference. This is a little viewed press conference by Chief Long. I think he was Deputy Chief Long at the time, maybe still Deputy Chief Long. This is a press conference by Deputy Chief Long at 4:40 p.m. is the timestamp. 4:40 p.m. He's going to discuss whether a weapon, wrong one. He's going to discuss whether a weapon has yet been found.
We did have officers there. We had Charlie Kirk's team. He has a security team that travels with him, and they were here with him when he was shot. I'm sorry, sir. At this point, I can't disclose that.
I know the audio is pretty loud. The audio is pretty lousy there, but I'll tell you what he said. I put the screen caps up there. Someone said, "Has a weapon been found?" And he said, "At this point, I can't disclose that." Well, that was 4:40 p.m. We know, pursuant to the radio, we don't think a weapon had been found yet. Why not just say no? I don't know. I'm not a cop. Maybe there's a good reason they don't say no. Because we now have radio footage that will help enlighten us. Thanks to this Truth and Transparency podcast for preserving this radio footage. I seriously thank them because I know how much this stuff costs to purchase. We've had to purchase some of it. And anytime someone can purchase it and make it public, it's very helpful to the investigation, the decentralized investigation. This is radio footage from around 5:40 p.m. This is police radio footage from around 5:40 p.m., about an hour after the sheriff's press conference, where they discuss a rifle being found.
Lockdown in place.
Go ahead. 1014, just northeast of the Losi building. Forensics has recovered a weapon. 7J16, show traffic for me. 7J14, the forensics team has located a weapon just across the street from lot Mike 20 near the Losi building.
Incident command, the shelter in place can be lifted.
10-4. Incident command also. Sierra 1 and 3 are both code 4.
So that was 5:40 p.m. That was 5:40 p.m. It is notable that this is just shortly after the FBI team arrived, according to our records. I think it's pretty notable to point that out. We'll discuss later whether that has any practical relevance or not. So you have at this point in time a rifle that has been located at 5:40 p.m. Now we have a Tyler Robinson text that we can provide a little context to. This is, there we go. This is what he texted to Lance. We don't have a timestamp on this. Shouldn't be long until I can come home, but I got to grab my rifle still. To be honest, I had hoped to keep this secret till I died of old age. I'm sorry to have involved you. In the 7th message down here, 5 messages later, I'd planned to grab my rifle from the drop point shortly after. We'll come back to the word drop point in just a second. But most of that side of town got locked down. It's quiet, almost enough to get out, but there's one vehicle lingering. The drop point. Have you ever put something down and you said, I got to go get my keys from the drop point? Like where I used to teach accounting to college students. One of the many things I did along the way. And I would always start the accounting class by saying, who here's scared of math? And everyone would raise their hand because everybody hates math. I mean, it's just pretty universal. And I'd say, well, good news. There's no math in accounting. Who here has a particular place you put your keys every night so that you know where they are the next day? Almost every hand goes up. I said, you're an accountant. Who here has somewhere they put their shoes? Every hand goes up. You are an accountant. I put my shoes in the same place every night. I put my keys in the same place every night. I've never referred to it as a drop point. It's just a place I put something. A drop point, that's like spy terminology. typically involves two people, right? Like you drop something off and then someone else is going to come pick it up. That's the drop point. It's a weird way to term something if you're operating alone, I would believe, but I don't want to get too caught up in that. I just noticed it. Just figured it was worth talking about. All right. Now, he said he'll update you by midnight. If I'm able to grab my rifle unseen, I will have left no evidence, going to attempt to retrieve it again. Hopefully they have moved on. I haven't seen anything in the news about them finding it. We'll update you by midnight. I don't know if I showed that one, but that's the text of one of the further messages. We'll update you by midnight. Indicates he planned to go back later in the evening. So what was going on around midnight? What was going on around midnight? Well, now we know. Now we know what was going on around midnight because we have a radio transmission from the police at 11:52 a.m. I'll play that for you now. 11:52 p.m., excuse me. This is a radio transmission from the police at 11:52 p.m.
But it was going to be coming down anytime. But we're still good.
We knew you guys were still holding that area over there.
Sure, that was like a couple hours ago. Don't know if you guys don't want to hold the scene or if we're good to take down the tape. Either way, we're good.
So the context for that is they're talking about the tape around the rifle scene. They're talking about the tape around the rifle scene. He says quite clearly that they're discussing the tape coming down. I want to play to the end. I thought I did play it to the end. Did I not? Oh, please. Let me come back. I'll keep going. I thought I'd played it to the end. Here we go.
You're talking the scene where in the woods.
Roger that. And where were the weapons found? Copy that. Just confirm we can take down the tape and everything.
Yeah, just for that wooded area.
So at 11:52, they begin the discussion. 11:52 p.m. on September 10th, the day Tyler Robinson was alleged to have taken Charlie Kirk's life. 11:52 p.m. This is a very important time. Don't get lost on the details here. 11:52 p.m. They start talking about, can we take the tape down at the scene? By 11:56, that was the second transmission. At 11:56 p.m., they said, yes, take it down. Take the tape down. Why is that important? Well, a couple of reasons. First, do we have the affidavit? There it is. We have a search warrant that explains why this is so important. Look what happens right after they take the tape down. According to Special Agent Payton, I'm reading right here at the bottom of this box. According to Special Agent Payton with the FBI, the owner of the home located at blank contacted police and advised that he had captured video on his Nest doorbell camera that a Dodge Challenger parked across the street from his home. The vehicle initially parked at approximately 12:47 hours. That's incorrect. That's a typo. That should be 00:47 hours on September 11th and left at 01:35 hours. Meaning, Tyler Robinson showed back up at the scene where the rifle was at 12:47 a.m. and left at 1:35 a.m. He was there a little over 45 minutes. The tape around the rifle crime scene had just come down 45 minutes before he arrived. We know, because of reporting by Candace Owens, that Tyler Robinson was eating at a steakhouse in Panguitch. We have no idea why he went to Panguitch. It doesn't make sense to anyone that I've ever talked to. He was eating at a steakhouse in Panguitch around 9 p.m. And he's got to drive back to Orem. That's about a 3.5-hour drive. Well, guess what? That puts him back there around 12:30 a.m. Someone decided about 30 or 45 minutes before he showed up, we should get this tape down. Almost as if somebody knew that Tyler Robinson was on the way back and was going to park his car at that location in front of a doorbell camera for about 45 minutes and go looking for the gun. And if the tape was there, he would know the gun's been recovered. We can't tell him that, so we got to take the tape down. I don't know how you look at this any other way. Well, you can say, but Baron, maybe they just removed the tape altogether. Maybe they just didn't need the tape anymore. Well, then explain these pictures that were taken the following day. Because the following day, September 11th, after the tape came down at 11:56 p.m. the night before, we have images of law enforcement putting the tape back up. This is September 11th. Law enforcement officials investigate a wooded area near the crime scene on September 11th, 2025. Look what he's doing. He's retaping the scene. They're all now still standing around the scene. Now they're reinvestigating it now that Tyler's shown back up. And now the tape's back up on September 11th, 2025. Don't believe me? It's in that date. The date is right up here in the top. That's a weird set of coincidences, if you ask me. That's a weird set of coincidences. You would almost have to plan that for the law enforcement to get that lucky. You would almost have to plan that. You would almost have to think, oh, he's on his way back. Oh, he's going to get the rifle. We got to get the tape down. We got to get the tape down. We got to get the tape down. Get the tape down. Get out of here. Everybody leave. Then they leave. Tyler shows up, mills around for 45 minutes. Where's my gun? Where's my gun? This is the story they're feeding us. Then he leaves, and then the tape comes back up. It's a very strange set of coincidences. It does probably explain, though, why they found the weapon at 5 p.m. or 5-something p.m., right in the middle of the news hour. Would have been a great time to reveal the weapon and let the world know we found the weapon. Here's what the weapon looks like. Help us try to find the person who owns this weapon. But no, they don't tell us that. They don't tell us that until the next morning as the tape's going back up around the crime scene. And that is when Bo Mason, who featured prominently in Google Trends if you go back to the first few episodes, but that's neither here nor there. That's when Bo Mason decides to let us know they found the weapon.
Just to recap yesterday's events.
And apparently there's no sound to it. Trust me, in this press conference at 7:18 a.m., he tells you all about it. You'll have to take my word for it. You'll have to take my word for it. But he goes through a little recap of everything that happened. And at 7:19 a.m., 7:19 a.m., he kicks off a press conference and he says, we found a high-powered rifle. High-powered rifle. And then on September 11th, if you go back in time, everything starts getting weird. Because we're told by Kash Patel, we're told by the sheriff, that's two different departments, one state agency, or a county agency, but a county is really a state agency by law. One county agency in Washington County, one state agency, Utah SBI, one federal agency, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, all agree that Tyler Robinson was unknown to law enforcement until he made the phone call at 8:02 to Washington County Sheriff Nate Brooksby. So it's weird that we started getting these types of tweets on the day of September 11th, well before 8:02 p.m. This is at 11:01 Utah time. No, excuse me, 12:01 Utah time. They're an hour behind us here. It says 1:01, but that's because we're on Central time here. This is Mountain time. This would be 12:01. Breaking. Utah law enforcement just postponed a 12:45 p.m. press conference due to rapid developments. What were these rapid developments? What were the rapid developments? Well, that's just one isolated example. Are there more? We'll find out. They have a CBS News update that corresponds to what Matt Finn had just tweeted moments before. So it wasn't just Fox that had this. It was also CBS. FBI news conference postponed due to rapid developments. Utah Department of Public Safety said the FBI news conference that was scheduled for 2:45 p.m. Eastern time, that would again be 12:45 Mountain time, has been postponed, citing rapid developments. Due to the rapid developments in our investigation, we will suspend the news conference, Utah DPS said in a statement. We will release an updated time later today. So what's going on? It's almost like they know who it is. Then we have Nick Sortor tweeting this, newsman Nick Sortor, tweeting the following just a little bit later. Hold, please. I'll get this pulled up. This is Nick Sortor, breaking exclusive. The FBI strategically delayed their press conference last night for several hours. Now, he's writing this on September 11th, or 12th, excuse me. But what he's saying is the September 11th press conference that was supposed to take place at 12:45 p.m. Mountain Time and did not take place until 7:51 p.m. Mountain Time, that it was just strategically delayed several hours in order to smoke out Charlie Kirk's killer. Following critical witness interviews, per FBI source. Well, if you listen to Kash Patel, that's not at all how he tells the story. He says they did a 7:51 p.m. press conference, and because at the 7:51 p.m. press conference, they released the video of Tyler Robinson scampering across the roof, or allegedly Tyler Robinson scampering across the roof. Tyler Robinson's dad immediately recognized him, and that kicked off the chain of events that led to Tyler Robinson's family calling the sheriff at 8:02. It was an unbelievably tight timeline. It was unbelievable when he said it, but that's what he said. But what Nick Sortor reported that day was that's not at all what happened. There were critical witness interviews that were designed to smoke out Charlie Kirk's killer. FBI intercepted the suspect's cell phone pings. Has anyone heard this before? Was anyone else aware that this had taken place? That this reporting was available on September 12th? Is this the first you're hearing of cell phone pings being intercepted? By 12:45 the following day? Established a trail prior the press conference, which caused the suspect's father to turn the son in shortly thereafter. Robinson was taken into custody 250 miles away from where he killed Kirk, allegedly killed Kirk. I'll help you out there, Sortor. I know you had a typo. You meant to put allegedly there. You don't want to get sued. This was a hugely successful operation by the FBI and Utah authorities, taking the assailant into custody within just, say it with me, class, 33 hours. A mere fraction of the time it took the FBI to track down the Boston bomber and Luigi Mangione. Great work. Justice for Charlie's coming. Rah, rah. That the first time you're hearing that? That it wasn't at all the pictures, that it was cell phone pings and strategic interviews? Because that's the first time I heard it. I don't remember seeing that night. Nick Sortor is, kind of a connected reporter. You wouldn't think he would just be making it up. But maybe. By 3:11 p.m. 3:11 p.m. Mountain Time, we have Donald Trump seemingly knowing the identity of Charlie Kirk's killer. A little strange looking back on it.
Do you believe that killer was a trained assassin? Usually your instincts are always on.
I'd rather not say. I think progress is being made. He's an animal, total animal. And hopefully they'll have him and they'll get him. What he did is disgraceful. Charlie Kirk was a great person, a great man, great in every way, especially with youth. And what he did, what this man did, was disgraceful. So hopefully we'll have him and we will deal with him very appropriately.
So the question, if you couldn't hear it over the incessant whining of the helicopter, the question was Charlie Kirk's killer a trained assassin? The answer was not, how would I know? He hadn't turned himself in yet. We won't know for another 5 hours when he makes the phone call to the sheriff. Instead of that, he's like, I'd rather not say. Rather not say? Rather not say means you know, and you could say, but you'd rather not say. That's quite inconsistent with what we've been told. Now let's go to 3:39 p.m. 3:39 p.m., and this is getting very close to the time I believe Charlie Kirk probably turned himself in. Not Charlie Kirk. Tyler Robinson probably turned himself in. Getting very, very close to the time Tyler Robinson probably turned himself in. This is September 11th. This is 3:36 p.m. Mountain Time, 5:36 p.m. Eastern Time. Federal law enforcement believes it has identified the name of a person of interest, according to 2 U.S. officials and a law enforcement source. So far, however, no arrest warrant has been issued. The name of the person has not been released. So they believed that they knew who it was at 3:36 p.m. Remember, they were supposed to have a press conference at 12:45 that Nick Sortor says they strategically delayed by several hours. Another news report says they were pinging his cell phone and were able to smoke him out with the cell phone pings. And now let's talk when the video that Cash Money Patel says was the reason Tyler Robinson's father turned him in. It was this right here, released not until 7:59 p.m. Utah time. This is the FBI is releasing video of the shooter who murdered Charlie Kirk at the Utah Valley University, September 10, 2025. This is that video, that crazy video where he runs across and scales down the side of a 15-foot ledge like Spider-Man, very athletically, almost like a trained professional. But no, it's a nerdy 22-year-old. And Cash Money tells us that that is the video that convinced the father to make the phone call. You can't have it both ways. You can't have known who this guy was all day and been smoking him out and been trailing him on cell phones and been delaying press conferences. And at the same time, have me to believe no one knew he existed until 8:02, until that first phone call was made to the local sheriff. You can't have it both ways. One or the other's not true. Either all of that reporting was wrong, in which case they have to explain why did they strategically delay the press conference? Why did they delay it at all? They said they delayed it because of rapid developments. That was from the FBI. What were the rapid developments? I'm curious. Because we're told there weren't any rapid developments at 12:45 p.m. Now we're told there weren't. On that day we were, but today we're not told there were rapid developments. These days we're told that they were just kind of sitting around twiddling their thumbs, picking their hind end, grabbing a boog out of the, grabbing a bat out of the cave, flicking it across the room, waiting on his dad to turn him in. That's the story we're sold today. And that is not, when you look back at the day of all this activity, that's not what was going on the ground. It's my firm belief he was supposed to die in a shootout, or it was supposed to look like a suicide. That's my very firm belief. Why else would you know who he is by cell phone ping and not just go pick him up? Or believe you know who he was by cell phone ping, not just drive up to his house and be like, get in the car. You're coming with us. Why these random text messages from him that he's obviously going to claim he didn't send, that I don't believe he sent? Saying, I did it. I'm on my way home, my love. I did it. And I'm going to lead the police out to a isolated location. I'm going out on my own terms. What? I don't want to be dragged through the courts. So here's what I think happened, and I think I've got evidence of it. I don't think there was a single rifle at the scene. I think there were at least 3. At least 2 that we can confirm. 3 that I believe, and perhaps a 4th. Yes. Yes, you didn't know this, did you? Well, I'm going to show you what I found. It's been around for a while. I'm just going to show you my interpretation of what was found. So the day after Charlie Kirk was taken down, September 10th. So where all this is taking place on September 11th. While all this is taking place on September 11th, a man in a white lab coat was arrested at UVU. The officer to his right appeared to be carrying a weapon. The man has now been identified as Russell Kim Kennington. He sneaked across 2 sets of yellow crime scene tape to get to the courtyard where the tent was. He's 38 years old. When they ordered him to identify himself, he fled. He took off running. But he was eventually caught. After his arrest, he identified himself and told police, quote, he was reminiscing and filming the scene. Reminiscing about what? Who reminisces about something that happened yesterday? Who reminisces about a public assassination? That's weird. They found selfies and other photos inside the crime scene, almost as if he was documenting it, confirming that whatever he was supposed to be doing at the crime scene was in fact being done. What's not explained is the officer holding what the officer was holding after he was arrested. I'm not sure myself, gun, crossbow, something else. And you can see it in this officer's hand here on the left. I will show you the image of the arrest and let it roll across your screen. So we know this isn't an officer's weapon. We don't know what it is. Could be a toy, could be nothing, but it's but they're walking away from the scene with it. So we're left with a question we have to answer. Did he bring it to the scene with him? Or was he found at the scene with it and he was getting rid of it, like he was taking it away? And he was documenting that he was in fact taking it away. Because that's what I think happened. I think that's evidence there was another weapon at the scene. Whether it was a functional round weapon, I don't know. I don't know what it was. It's too distant. It's too hard to find. We have an article about the arrest. It gives us a little more information. That's just number one. I got another one to show you. Man arrested for trespassing at UVU crime scene where Charlie Kirk was killed. Charges are allegations only. Orem, Utah Dateline. Earlier today, a man arrested for allegedly entering the crime scene and taking photos and videos of evidence at UVU where conservative influencer Charlie Kirk was murdered. Utah Deputy of Public Safety, Utah Department of Public Safety, announced that his arrest had taken place. And they stated that it was not related to the murder. Arrest happened around 11 a.m. this morning. Russell Kennington, 38, arrested on suspicion of criminal trespass, obstruction of justice, and a capital or first-degree felony case. According to probable cause affidavit, local police and federal agencies were conducting their investigation into the UVU homicide at the crime scene, which was roped off with high-vis crime scene tape. Investigators saw a man in a white lab coat using his phone to take photos and videos of evidence, and he had crossed the crime scene tape. Agents and detectives confronted him, and he ran east of the crime scene to the Woodbury building. Detectives caught up with him, told him to stop, which he did. Suspect identified himself as Russell Kennington of Pleasant Grove, Utah. Reportedly told detectives he was at the crime scene to take photos and videos of the crime scene, that he was reminiscing and filming the scene. Told police he had stayed in the shadows as he approached the crime scene to avoid police contact, so as not to disturb investigators. He also said that he saw crime scene tape and knew it meant to stay out, yet he went in anyway. I added that last part. A little colorful flourish for you. They also found a photo where he took a selfie of himself inside the crime scene tape. He was booked in the Utah County Jail. What's interesting about this is it was very clear that they were carrying something away that had an evidence tag on it, and they were walking away with it. But when you look at all the information, the probable cause affidavit, which we have, I'll show you. I don't know that I want to spend a ton of time running through it, but I'll show it to you. We have it. It exists. This is the probable cause affidavit here. No mention of a firearm or any kind of weapon. You go back to the charging document. No mention of a firearm or any weapon. You go back to the case summary page. Not charged with a weapon on a college campus. Not charged with any weapons violations. A little weird. It's almost like the weapon never existed. What's notable to me about this weapon is it had a wood stock. It was a long rifle with a wood stock is what it looks like to me. I want you to keep that in mind. Well, let me show you one more little quick thing here about Russell Kennington. I think it's notable. This is his LinkedIn page. TMS technician. TMS is like something they do with people with depression. They put something on their head and it shoots some rays in it or something. Neuroscience student, designer, and artist telling compelling news stories. He went to UVU, believe it or not. He's a UVU guy. He also was a U.S. Army combat medic for 8 years. I would love to ask him if he has any opinion on how Charlie Kirk was carried from the scene like a side of beef and chucked into an SUV. But I won't have that opportunity because he has since been convicted and is serving time in the pokey. And he also worked at Intermountain Healthcare as an imaging. There's a gap in his resume from August of 2017 to April of 2024, and there's no real explanation for what he was doing for those 7 years. Don't know where he went, don't know what he was doing, don't know if he was in school, training, practicing. I don't know what he was doing. Now, that's one weapon that was at the scene the following day. I cannot for the life of me picture a scenario in where he brought the weapon to the scene and was not charged with it. I mean, that's just inexplicable to me that they would arrest a guy for taking selfies at the scene who brought a weapon on campus with him. And they'd be like, yeah, he's fine. Don't mention the weapon. The way I construct this in my head is it's far more likely that he was retrieving a second stashed gun. That Tyler Robinson's stashed gun was one stashed gun. And that this is obviously was stashed somewhere else. Why is he taking a selfie? He's got to prove. I got it. Here I am at the scene inside the tape. Your boy followed through with it. Come off that dinero. Okay, so that's just a hypothetical. I can't state with certainty that's what happened. But I can state with certainty for several weeks, you could not find any evidence of this arrest. You looked all over the Utah courts. There was nothing. It did not come back up until like November, I think. Couple of 3 months after it happened. And then he was convicted and has to serve a little time. 180 days or something. Then maybe a year of probation on top of that. It was not a stiff sentence. But a lot of people also forgot this happened on the day of the following day, excuse me. I don't know why the video is not playing. Oh, please. And maybe it's not going to play. Maybe it knows what we're doing. Doesn't want to have any part of it. I'll pull it up and explain. There was a brief hullabaloo shortly after everything went down when they arrested this ratty-looking fella because Kash Patel had said in the middle of the day, subject for the horrific shooting today that took the life of Charlie Kirk is now in custody. Thank you to state and local authorities in Utah for your partnership with the FBI. We'll provide an update when able. Well, it turned out he was wrong. That this is the guy they had. And if the video would play, and I have no idea why it's not playing, but if the video would play for me, you would see that there is, leaned up against this car, a wooden stock apparent rifle. And I don't know if it is a real rifle, if it's a pellet gun. Someone claimed they could identify the model, and it turned out it was a pellet gun that had nothing to do with it. But the police thought it had something to do with it, almost as if he was coming from the scene and had a rifle. If that's right, that is two different non-Tyler Robinson rifles recovered from the scene. That would be uncanny. Uncanny to just have that be an accident. I can't get over the Russell Kim Kennington thing for one. Like, I refuse to get over that. I'd also like to know what he was doing for 7 years. Where were you from 2017 to 2024? Your LinkedIn says you weren't anywhere. Where were you? Because I would love to know. I would love to know. And so what we end up getting is this notion, this idea that sort of runs through this case over and over and over, that there's a lot going on behind the scenes that we weren't told and we've been lied to about. I will quintuple down that Tyler Robinson was in custody in Washington County before 6:25 p.m. on September 11th. Period, end of story. It could have been as early as 3 o'clock. Early afternoon. The early afternoon. So why would we be told 8:02? What is it about 8:02? Seems to me there was still evidence being planted. Seems to me there was something that had to be done. Maybe he hadn't confessed enough by text. We were not given the timestamps on the text, and I think that's pretty strategic. We're told we will see screen caps of those texts. Well, those screen caps better be early. That's all I got to say. They better all be in the morning. They might be. But I keep going back to this Discord message that allegedly was sent at 7:57 p.m. I'm telling you right now, that was not him. That was not him. I am convinced it was not him. And if somebody was acting like him at 7:57 p.m., why am I to believe no one acted like him earlier than 7:57 p.m.? Why would somebody just decide at 7:57, you know what I ought to do? I ought to pretend I'm Tyler Robinson, and I'm going to jump on Discord, and I'm going to make a corny confession. And that doesn't seem right to me. That doesn't seem right to me at all. I think it's valuable that we're going back to the scene of the crime in the immediate hours and days afterwards and looking at some of this stuff. Why did the police tape come down just in time for Tyler Robinson to come back from the steakhouse and then go back up the next morning? Why wouldn't you just leave the crime scene? If you want the crime scene tape up the next day, leave it up overnight. Why would you not leave it up overnight, particularly when presumably officers aren't going to be there? I didn't even mention some of the other things that just seem like total impossibilities. Consider the following. We're told by a Fox News reporter, I'd have to go back and pull it, but we're told by a Fox News reporter that at 6:30 p.m., roughly, Tyler Robinson made contact with an officer where the rifle was, right there in that area where the rifle was. Well, they found the gun at 5:50. Well, they didn't put tape up? He didn't see all the hullabaloo. He didn't see all the people going, oh, we found a gun. He didn't see people putting down evidence tents. He didn't see people investigating. I mean, what did they find the rifle and all leave? So was that story planted? Was that not true? Was that also a lie? It strikes me like a Hollywood play. You know, have you ever been to a play where someone screws up and they all kind of go on and just keep coordinating their act, and they don't realize the other person is screwed up, and so the play is kind of a little funny and something's missing and someone's not out there on stage, and you know, the show must go on, right? That's what it strikes me as. The show must go on. There was a plan in place to have Tyler leave this series of confessions, all of this evidence, and then go out with a bang. And he screwed it up by turning himself in early. And by turning himself in early, the keys had already been turned on the plan. You can't unturn those keys. The show must go on. The script has already been written. The actors are in place. Everything's ready to go. It's almost, the way I look at it is, it's almost like all these confessions and text messages were pre-scripted and written, it lined up and ready to start being sent out into his phone or from his account. And they can't stop it because they're already in there. They're programmed and ready to go. Or whoever's job it was to unprogram it, like maybe he was in the can. Maybe he was taking a 10-minute smoke break. Then they couldn't get him, and another text message just went out. Great. I don't know, but I know this. You cannot reconcile all of these disparate facts. You cannot reconcile all these differences, the differences in reporting of what was going on, what the FBI was saying. Oh, there's rapid developments. Oh, no, we've just been sitting around waiting. We had no idea what was going on. Oh, we're postponing a press conference. Why? Well, I don't, looking back, we don't really know why we postponed it. I am not sitting here today, and frankly, nor do I believe that Tyler Robinson is innocent of every crime on that day. If I had to wager my money, I believe he probably committed some crime. I don't know what that crime is. I don't know whether it's helping to move or destroy evidence. I don't know. I don't know if it's driving a getaway car, bringing something to the scene of the crime, being aware this crime was going to be committed and not saying anything, not stopping it. Evidence tampering, witness tampering. I have no idea. But every single day, we sit down in the morning and start putting a show together for the evening, and every single day, it becomes more and more blatantly obvious Tyler Robinson did not kill Charlie Kirk with a .30-06 from the Losi Center. He just didn't. I am convinced. And again, if I'm wrong, if they get to trial and I see overwhelming evidence and I'm like, wow, I've been wrong this whole time, your humble host will be here with his hand in the air going, guys, I misread this from the beginning. I don't know how I missed it. And I will do a real inventory, searching my logical thought process, searching my rationale, searching everything that I do on a daily basis to prepare for shows, searching how I analyze evidence, how I review social media, how I connect dots in my head. I will be the very first person to confess that I got it wrong. But I don't think I am. I don't think I'm wrong at all. I mean, we got an idea of the things we're going to cover in the next 3 to 5 days, typically, like where we're headed. Sometimes we know, well, that may be a month before we're able to cover that. So we'll have something on the calendar maybe a month ago and say, revisit this topic. But, you sit down in the morning and you open the keyboard and you start putting a run together and you think, how are we going to, we got an idea what we're going to talk about, but how are we going to construct it? How do we tell a story today? It's not just turn on the microphone and talk. There's a story. It's a construction. There's something going on. And by story, I don't mean fiction. I mean a narrative that's easy to follow, that makes sense, that goes page by page by page. Like the story of World War II or the story of the Battle of Gettysburg. Doesn't mean the Battle of Gettysburg didn't take place. It just means some people tell the story better than others. They make it make sense. It flows, whatever. That's what I mean by story. I know what the haters will do with me saying that. But every day we sit down and think, how do we construct the narrative for today? We know what we want to talk about. How do we put it together? But man, by the time I hit the record button or the go live button, I am just every day exercised. Every single day, I am like angry as I sit here before I turn. And I hate that. I'm not an angry person. I've got a fun disposition typically. I like to joke. I like to laugh. I like to have a good time. But when you consider that Tyler Robinson almost certainly turned himself in before 6:25 p.m., therefore was likely Mirandized in Washington County at 6:25 p.m., because every single piece of context clue in that transcript that says 6:25 p.m. on it, where he was Mirandized, seems to indicate it was in Washington County on Thursday, shortly after he had left his parents' safety. And then you get this onslaught of the FBI the Washington County Sheriff, the Utah County Sheriff, the State Bureau of Investigation, all of the news media, the President of the United States, the TPUSA Fed sloppers, TPUSA itself. Erica, you get all these people that just pile on to this impossible to believe narrative, and they just call you evil and they call you demonic. And how can you do this? Why are you doing this? Guys, I'm doing it because it's right. I'm doing it because it's the logical conclusions, the only logical conclusion I can come up with. I'm doing it because there's no way for me to possibly believe that he leaves his parents, even if you say it's 10 o'clock p.m., that he leaves his parents at 10 o'clock p.m., and he's not Mirandized until 6:25 the next night. And he's like, I think my parents are trying to get in touch with him. How do you know that? How do you know they're still trying to get in touch with him? How do you know they didn't get in touch with him and he declined? How do you know they don't have another lawyer and he's on his way up there? How do you know any of this? You can't. So it can't be that night. It can't be Friday night. It has to be Thursday night, September 11th at 6:25 p.m. And because it's so easy in my mind to see this, when you see everyone on the other side just collectively ignore all that and go, yeah, well, we understand what you're saying. It's like you watching the Super Bowl and one team wins 52-0. Let's say the Eagles beat the Colts 52-0. And you wake up the next day and you watch the game. You have it recorded. You could play the game. And you wake up the next day and the president's like, I can't wait for the Colts to come to the White House. They just demolished the Eagles. You're like, hold on, wait a minute. I watched the game. I have the game on tape. They lost 52-0. I heard all about it. I talked to people who were at the game. They said it. I watched the Eagles celebrate. I watched hoist the trophy and hold it up and down. That's what it feels like. That's what it feels like on a daily basis. Showing up day in and day out and having to listen to the Fed sloppers ignore absolutely all evidence and continue to point to a nearly impossible conclusion. Ian Carroll's done a really good job lately of just throttling Gary, the biggest, worst Fed slopper of them all, in my opinion, just because his takes are so bad. And then watching people post clip after clip after clip of Gary for a solid month after Tyler Robinson was arrested, saying, guys, this could not have been a 30-06. It's impossible. There's no way. 30-06 can't do this damage. 30-06 would have blown clear through. It would have been an obvious exit wound. It arrives with X amount of power. I mean, he did precision. He did math. He showed examples. And then one day, without explanation, changing his mind and going, no. 100% empirical proof. It absolutely would have stopped in his neck. Huh? Bro, we've got the videos. I'm watching you say the opposite. I'm watching you do like 9 podcasts on this issue. I'm watching you do podcast after podcast after podcast that no, a gun cannot stop in Charlie Kirk's neck. It's impossible for a 30-06 to stop in Charlie Kirk's neck. It must have been something else at play. We know that because we know the damage this gun can do. And then all of a sudden switching. Well, people don't do that. That's not what happens. If you switch, you provide a long, detailed explanation. Oh my gosh, guys, I was wrong. And here's why I was wrong. I've not seen that. And I don't even think you can switch and say I was wrong. Why did he switch? I could speculate. I don't know. I mean, honestly, I don't know. Might have just been added to a group text and felt important. I don't know. I truly don't know. But he's not the only one. There were a whole host of people very early on that were basically saying this is impossible and we really have trouble accepting the government narrative. And they are all in now on the government narrative. All in on the government narrative. It defies explanation. It defies logic. It defies any sort of rational explanation. Your humble host isn't like that. I've got to see evidence. I've got to be convinced. I don't think Tyler Robinson will be convicted. Not of murdering Charlie Kirk. Not at trial. Now, would he take a plea deal because deep down he knows he'd done something else and just wants to? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I can't speculate. But if Tyler Robinson stays alive and Tyler Robinson makes it to trial, and they have a full trial in front of a jury, I cannot imagine a scenario in which a jury of his peers will be able to convict him when they are finally able to present the evidence. I cannot imagine that scenario. I am open to it, though. I am open to it. I'm not calling people, mean names who come to a different conclusion. I'm not saying that they're this or that. I just disagree, vehemently disagree. And particularly the ones who used to agree with me, I'm a little harder on them because I don't understand the change. I don't understand the change and how the change could be in good faith. I just truly don't. So I am a little harder on some than others, no doubt. But I think if he stays alive and there's a trial, he will not be convicted. And if I'm the judge in this case and there's a preliminary hearing coming up, and I know this is a little outside the scope of a preliminary hearing, but this is a great opportunity to get to the bottom of just what the hell time did he turn himself in? And why did the tape go missing in Washington County of him turning himself in? Where is that tape? Why can't we see it? Why wasn't it released to the public? Is it because it was broad daylight outside when he turned himself in? It was clearly in the middle of the afternoon, early afternoon perhaps? Is it because it's time-stamped and you can clearly see what time he came in? Because if I'm a judge and I know they're covering up that fact, maybe I don't let this go forward. Maybe I say, no, you guys go sit at home and figure this out. Come back to me. We're delaying this. This is part one of the preliminary. You guys are going to come back in 90 days. Get it worked out. The judge has that kind of power. Trial judge absolutely has that kind of power. Anything at all that trial judge determines is a little squirrely, he can absolutely say, you guys better figure this out. Judge Graff, what time did Tyler Robinson turn himself in? And what time did the Utah County Sheriff and the FBI and the State Bureau of Investigation and the prosecution team, I don't know that I've heard the prosecution team say it actually, what time did they all say he turned himself in? Because if those times don't match, there's a cover-up, sir. There's a multi-agency cover-up taking place in your courtroom. So get to the bottom of it. Figure it out. Force the issue. What time did Tyler Robinson turn himself in? To me, this is the most important single fact that is outstanding as we speak because it can be proven. It can be proven. It can be proven through witness testimony. You get Tyler Robinson's parents on the stand. Ask them what time he would turn himself in. It can be proven through the tapes that Washington County said they lost, said they deleted, and then accidentally produced. And so now they're stuck with the fact that they do exist. So that it could be proven that way. But get to the bottom of it, Judge Graff. What time did he turn himself in? If he turned himself in before they said he turned himself in, Judge Graff, you've got a multi-agency cover-up, and you might be getting ready to convict and execute an innocent man, at least innocent of these particular charges. So solve that issue. I don't think any other issue needs to be examined right now, frankly. That is the most important issue on the table today. What time did he turn himself in? We can get to the other issues later. I'm confident it was before 6:25 p.m. Very confident. I'm even more confident it was before 8 p.m. when he said he got the call, when the sheriff said he first got the call. And if the sheriff was lying at that initial press conference, if Kash Patel was lying at his interview with Fox News, why? Why? Why would you lie about that? And why would the sheriff's department lie to the press and say they lost the tape or deleted the tape when they didn't? If they weren't trying to cover it up. There's extrinsic evidence you can look at, Judge. You can look at how many people were booked that day and what time they came in and were booked. That evidence is still available on the internet. We looked at it on this show. There's a wide gap right in the middle of the afternoon where nobody came or went. Why? Why? Why were people not booked in the middle of the afternoon? It's pretty normal. It's Thursday. Why not? But Judge, get to the bottom of this. Get to the bottom of this. Don't pass the buck. Don't be part of a cover-up that convicts an innocent man and sends him to prison for life or executes him. Start correcting, making sure the trial is fair and accurate from the beginning. hold people accountable. And if it turns out the family is wrong, it turns out Tyler said some of the craziest stuff that you would ever say on a Friday night, I'll live with that. I'll live with that. I'll accept it. And I will come here and I'll say, you know what? We all saw the tape. We saw him walk in. We saw the timestamp said 9:47 p.m. or whatever time it was. It was pitch black outside. We saw cars in the parking lot with headlights on. It's real. It was him. And we're wrong. But I don't think we are. I don't think we are. I don't think we're wrong at all. And I think because it can be proven what time it was, I think it's the most important issue, the most important live issue that remains on the table as we sit here today. The rest of it, we're going to need additional discovery. We need no more discovery on this. We don't need any more. We don't need to look at a rifle report. We don't need to look at whether the round matches the rifle. We don't need to know whose DNA and fingerprints are on what items. We don't need any of that. If there's video footage of him turning himself in at 3, 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the afternoon, and it's broad daylight outside, they're lying. And if they're lying, why? Why are they lying about what time he called? Why are they lying about what time he turned himself in? So get to the bottom of it. It can be proven overnight. It can be proven overnight. If you've liked what you've seen today, I've done a terrible job of asking you guys to like the program. You guys dutifully do it on a regular basis, and I do appreciate it. I genuinely appreciate that you like the program. Don't forget to subscribe. If you think you're subscribed, make sure you subscribe. While you're there, click the little down arrow on the subscription button and hit all notifications, and it'll let you know when we go live. It'll let you know when we I don't really post clips or anything on this, but I do have a clips channel. I want to give you a quick moment to take a look at that. Because we are putting excellent content up there every single day. And what we've decided to do is, this is a great use of this. We are going back in time on this clips channel. We are going back in time on this clips channel and showing older clips that newer viewers may not have seen. But also, like John Cullen was in the news recently talking about the military spy plane. So we pulled a little bit we did from a few months ago, or a month or two ago, from the military spy plane. We're going to do a clip on the Turkey Tom video coming up pretty soon. The Turkey Tom video has popped back up, and people are saying, oh my gosh, this guy was a roommate. He was a Discord fan. No, he was a Fed. We did a whole show on that back in October, and I will show you that now. Here is our merch site. If you want to take a look at this, go to realbaronpodcast.com, click this merch button up here at the top. It'll slide you down to this. Go over here to the right-hand side, that button that just lit up, click view all. It'll take you to the merch site. We got a lot of fun stuff in here. We got kids gear, so Christ is King Indeed shirts, your Go Max stuff, get a daisy. We got a 4th of July Go Max with the cross against the flag, the original high IQ outfit gear. My favorite mugs on the planet. Hold, please. Got some Racerback tanks for the ladies and more, so check it out. Lots of good merch up. Mrs. Coleman loves this shirt here, A Curious Mind, with the RBP crow that is perched beautifully behind me here, a gift from a listener. So you can go to the merch channel, check it out. I will roll through some of your comments. I appreciate you checking in. Appreciate you joining. We'll have a member show this week on Friday. Probably not tomorrow. Probably Friday. I don't know if we'll do a full show tomorrow or not. With Candace being gone, we might. Because there's just an obvious hole there in the middle of the day, and we'll get a chance to go a little earlier. And so just stay tuned on that. I don't know what we'll do tomorrow, but I'll let you know sometime tomorrow. Is it possible the Greatest Ally angle is a cover-up for what actually happened? The CK send the text messages. We don't know what day sent. Why release messages to throw off narrative? I have entertained this notion that there is no connection to our Greatest Ally, and that they are being used to sort of juke the investigation off of the people who actually did it. Because, you mentioned our Greatest Ally, and some people cannot resist the urge to just go attack. and they get all bent out of shape about it. Your humble host falls victim to that sometimes. But it's definitely something I've considered. It's like the Soviet Union in 1981. If you blame the Russians for something in 1981, man, people just got all lathered up, and they could not help but think of any other angle. So yeah, I've thought of it. Please pray for Madison County, Kentucky. They were hit with devastating floods. 3 people are dead, and another from Jackson County. As always, I appreciate your work. Love you, B. Christ is King indeed. There's been some wild weather here lately. There was flooding there. There was like 8 inches of hail in Boise, Idaho the other day. I saw today in South Dakota, there was 131-mile-an-hour winds just in a thunderstorm. Knocked over windmills, blew down houses, barns, pets missing. Like, that's a tornado speed, and it was just straight line winds coming from a thunderstorm. And then you had all those hurricanes or all those earthquakes at the same time, or like within 24 hours each other the other day. 50,000 people still missing in Venezuela. So yeah, pray for all the natural disasters. This is a horrible week for weather, to be honest with you. Truth is like a lion. You don't have to defend it. Let it loose. It will defend itself. Augustine of Hippo. Saint Augustine of Hippo. Good man. Is there an RBP fan group online? Facebook, maybe? Maybe someone in the comments will answer that. I don't really follow all that. There were a few groups. They got out of control. I don't have anything to do with them. So I don't know. Maybe. If so, it's fan-led. I have nothing to do with it. Caught up on last night's show at the gym this morning and lost it when you said you have a giant pickle. Had to stop the exercise I was doing. Well, I apologize for interrupting your exercise, but that's what she said. She said she had a big pickle. I know Mrs. Coleman has popped by the member stream, but we need a full episode with her. Pretty please, with a cherry on top. I begged, and I'm not a good beggar. The last few shows have been amazing. Keep it coming. I'm doing my best. I hope I've lived up to your expectations. Chase Hughes put out an excellent video about the Truman Show. Someone commented about CK. Chase's response was his exits were blocked. It was a truly insightful video. Well, that's a truly insightful way to look at Charlie Kirk's life. And it tells me a lot about what Chase thinks happened to him. B, I'm devastated. BSB are infinitely more awesome than NSYNC. I claim number 1 B fan from Tom Bean, Texas. Hey, listen. I don't care. It doesn't bother me. And I'm not a fan of either, to be honest with you. But you asked me who's better. I think it's pretty undeniable. And I felt like I got sent to the principal's office for asking ChatGPT when CK first started using the Rode mic. Just a timeline question. My fault, sir. Lesson learned. No, Megan. I wasn't trying to be mean to you. Well, you must have been on X. It's just when I ask a question, I could ask ChatGPT, anything. So if I ask a question and someone gives me a ChatGPT answer back, I don't feel like I've gotten anywhere. Like, I've probably already asked the question to ChatGPT, and I've gone trying to follow. Like, for example, today I put a picture of what appeared to be a rifle being carried around. I put it up on X, and I said, does anyone know what this is? I got like 39 people posted me their ChatGPT explanation of what their ChatGPT thinks it is. You don't think I asked AI what they thought it was and wasn't satisfied and like did some fact checking and thought, it's not right. It's just like, I am so concerned about what AI is doing to people in just its 3 years in existence. Not you in particular, Megan. Not you in particular. But if ChatGPT says Charlie Kirk started winning on July 15th, okay, so go try to find an example from before then. And if you can't find one, hey, thanks, ChatGPT. You gave us the date we can anchor and adjust from, and you've helped us nail it down. That's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to be ugly. Hubby to daughter. Mom's watering her garden, listen to Barron's. She's so content. And the photo is square mark on Charlie Kirk's chest. Is he lying on Harpole's lap? If yes, how is he kneeling next to him, providing him? No, he's being carried away. Bro, looking back over all your work, it's been fantastic. Can you wish my grandson Tommy good luck on his first Holy Communion week? Tommy, tighten up. Good luck. Practice with some Necco wafers. Make sure you don't screw it up. I'm just kidding, Tommy. Christ is king indeed. With so many people involved, allegedly. How is this state so tight? Mostly AV people, on-site volunteers, hospital employees, etc. No one cracks. Where would they go? If you thought you were involved in something, let's say it involved 1,000 people, and you were involved, I wake up exhausted. But you knew, like, you had evidence the president, the FBI, the vice president, all the local. I mean, you felt like everyone was involved. Who do you go to? Who do you blow the whistle to? Like, the only thing I can think of is you call a press conference at the National Press Club and say, this is what happened. I don't think they'll kill me now that everybody knows, but here's everything I know that happened. And they'll probably still kill everyone you know. I mean, that's just like that's the punishment. And so do you accept it? Day of AES event was also bomb threat at Fort Campbell, 55 miles away in Tennessee, that shut part of the base, city, and distracted some from AES related. I don't know. I wouldn't see how. When you know the explosive shouldn't have hit his neck, the reaction of security as CK is left facing him makes much more sense. Hi from UK, England. Yeah, I don't think it was supposed to hit his neck. I think that was a huge mistake. And they all kind of were like, ugh. Going to be your number one who's originally from Alaska and Hawaii, but now unfortunately lives in Texas. Sure. I'll allow you to have it. It's flat. Edge, what did I win? I guess the hoodie color. Pride. Bragging rights for 24 hours or so. Raised a Protestant Christian. Attended my first Catholic Mass yesterday. Man, I felt goofy walking in with my Bible. No. We have a lectionary in there for you. You don't need it. Thanks for all you do. Keeping your family and dear friends in my prayers. You're allowed to take your Bible. We don't kick Bibles out. You're more than welcome to bring it. But all the readings are typically in the... like this is what's called a missal. This is the Latin missal. So when you go to Latin Mass, you take this with you. But like you open up any day and it gives you like the third Sunday after Easter. This is what they're reading. Third Sunday after Easter. They're going to read it every year. They have for hundreds of years. And so this is the reading for the Mass. You got the collect, the epistle. You got a little psalm. You got the gospel. So like it's all broken out for you already. Now, Catholic Church says it reveres Scripture, reverences Scripture as if it does, as it reverences the body of Christ. Very high praise indeed. So it's not like they poo-poo on Scripture. They encourage you to read it, but it's the readings are predetermined and it's all set up for you. And usually there'll be numbers on the wall tell you where to turn. But welcome. About the live 2 days in a row. Bridget's one of those that likes the earlier time. I'm telling you. Moon Goddess, can you please turn off the gifts trolls in the chat? No, I can't. We've covered this yesterday. Don't mention it again. Thank you. Should Cash P resign if cover up is proven? He should be put in prison resign? No, he shouldn't. He should be frog marched out in handcuffs, as should the sheriff of Washington County, the vice president, the president. I mean, everybody. That's the problem. That's the problem. Where does it end? Like, it's hard. I was talking to somebody today. It's a pretty binary choice. It either is Tyler Robinson or it is such a massive cover-up, it will blow everyone's mind. There's no, like, in between. There's no in the middle where, like, 5 people were involved. Like, it can't just be TPUSA. TPUSA can't get the UVU paved over overnight in 5 days. They can't do that. TPUSA can't get the local Washington County sheriff to say he got a phone call at 8:02 when Tyler Robinson was in custody well before 6:30. He can't do that. TPUSA can't do that. So, like, it either is a cover-up of the most massive, unbelievable level you could possibly imagine, or Tyler Robinson did it. It's binary. It's totally binary. That's it. Love to you and Family Baron. Please turn off gifts. I'm not turning anything off. Stop asking. I disagree with you. I don't know what all this is. I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me ask a question real quick.
I can oh, that was loud. Sorry. I can help you later. It doesn't turn off all the supers. It's just like a gift thing.
Right. But here's the thing. I'm not turning them off. It is a way people want to contribute small dollars to the program. And what am I going to tell them? No, that you have to pay more?
I think the stickers just don't show, but I'll see and send it to you if that's the case.
I'm looking at it. The super chats and stickers, the gifts powered by Jules, which is a newer feature. You have, I'm looking at it, and they are all ways that YouTube provides fans to contribute to the success of the program. I'm not going to tell people no, like that's rude. It's a way for people to contribute small dollars, and I'm sorry that it's disruptive. I can't help it. Price is king indeed, though. I'll give you that. Yeah, what's wrong with the beer we got? Yeah, you must be from Alabama. Treadmill drummer. There's no doubt. I mean, we got the beer we drank pretty good, don't it? I ain't never heard nobody complain about the beer we have. Budweiser. What's the name of some of them other beers? Miller, Coors. God rest his soul. State Representative Alvin Holmes. If you have no idea what we're talking about, look up Alvin Holmes, Germany, on YouTube. That's an Alabamian right there. Baron, help a girl out looking for a high IQ husband in Southwest Colorado. Maybe a dating app for us single members of the jury. I'm not doing that. What if somebody gets like accosted or something? Then they'll be like, you're at fault. But I wish you well. I wish you well. Everybody, CER 4499 is on the lookout. Treat her well. Treat her well. So great to be back in the chat. I missed it. Oh, Mad World, I've missed you. I've missed you dearly. Missed you dearly. First super chat, usually catch a replay. Got baby number 8 baptized yesterday. God bless you and your family. Been praying rosary for you and Candace. Thank you, Tamara. Thank you. That's very, very kind. Very, very kind. And congratulations on baby number 8. Wow. I know what that's like. You're going to need some help. No, I'm just kidding. Lionel reminds me of a combination of Joe Pesci and Jordan Peterson. Can't get it out of my mind when I watch him. So I hope he holds up better than Jordan Peterson did. I am really concerned about Jordan Peterson. I'm concerned that he's not surrounded by people who have his best interest in mind. And I'm not alleging any person is doing anything wrong. I just really have concerns about Jordan Peterson. Some Eastern European mineral water brands get very dense and a tad salty. It's an acquired taste, but I encourage you to try any if they're around you, whether you'll like them or not. I'll try anything once. I'm not one of those people who won't try something. I might not try it a second time, but I'll try it once. Well, not anything, but I was listening to you and my little guy I was around listening to. He's going to be so high IQ. There'll be one next Monday, and Baron was actually runner-up, and we were naming him early birthday, Rhett. Stephanie, you chose poorly. You chose poorly, Stephanie. No, I kid. I'm sure he's brilliant. I have I don't think I'm allowed to say this. I have a nephew named Rhett, so partial to the name. Nobody in Southern Utah thinks Tyler's guilty. Telling you must be local, or are you like going door to door and asking? Unfortunately, he's not going to be tried in Southern Utah. Unfortunately for him. I believe Zach Costello did you a solid defending you today. I watched it. I watched Zach live, his whole show today. It was a great show. I need to reach out to him because he did. I need to send him the text thread that I showed you guys. Christ is king indeed. Cuban sandwich for lunch. It was great. That is all. Funny story about Cuban sandwiches. So I had a friend in law school that was that had floated over here from Cuba. I don't want to say his name, but he was great. He was hilarious. Funny guy. Super conservative. Hated liberals. And all goes back to the Bay of Pigs. Long story. And so he comes over, and his dad had already been here a couple years. He shows up on the shores of South Florida and eventually catches up with his dad after a few days, hungry, tired, sort of been taken care of by the local Cuban community. And they finally found his dad for him. And he unites with him. His dad goes, come on, let's go get a Cuban sandwich. And my friend was like, Cuban sandwich? I left Cuba. Why would we want one of those? And he said, no, it's great. You're going to love it. It's got this kind of, ham and pork. And he's like, meat? We don't have meat in Cuba. I will never forget when he told me that story at like 2 a.m. over about a gallon of gin. Great story. Baron, I appreciate your commitment to wear a hoodie in the heat wave. AC on blast. Yes, you have to keep it cool for all the equipment. My family loves it, I can assure you. Picking on our humble host, how dare they? Yeah. Hey, babe, been here since hat with signs, and ever since found Ian from you. Wow. The rare reverse Uno card. Wow. Don't miss a show. Go, Max. God bless. I know how to pronounce go. You know what to put it in parentheses. No, I'm aware. Don't mind me out here bringing the mail on the verge of a heat stroke, laughing hysterically at myself, saying, "The widow," at every mailbox. Pray for your mail people. It's hot out here. Christ is king. Indeed, it is. Love our mail carriers. Our letter carriers are typically saints for what they put up with from the community. Pray for them. Thoughts on Candace Tucker presenting Islam? As benign. Feels reactionary to our greatest ally, but seems like both are bad. I don't think anyone is inherently bad. Let me just say that up front. I don't think anyone's inherently bad. Not our greatest ally, not any of the other countries in the Middle East. But I think I don't think Russia's inherently bad. I don't think China's inherently bad. I don't think India's inherently bad. I think there are bad people within all communities. And when those bad people are not, society is supposed to limit bad people, put them in jail, punish them economically, keep them from positions of power. And when bad people are allowed to assume power and exercise bad will over a large group of people, all of a sudden you end up with what looks like, from an outsider's perspective, all of the people are bad people. The reality is the vast majority of the earth wants the same thing you and I want. They want to live in peace. They want to be left alone. They want access to food, shelter, water, healthcare. They want an education for their children. They want their children to have better lives than they had themselves. They want eternal peace for their souls and for the souls of their family. I mean, that's what most people want. That's not bad. There's nobody bad who wants those things. Those are good things. The vast majority of the people in all of these lands seem to want these things. But there is a demonic influence in this world, and they're operating through various groups of people, various countries, various leadership structures, presidents, prime ministers, kings. I don't know what all the premiers, I don't know what all these different countries call their leaders. And it's easy when they get that position for someone who doesn't like that country or wants access to that country or wants to take over that country or wants, the mineral wealth or, oil or diamonds or gold or whatever it is they want from that country. It's easy to try to get us to pin us against each other and say, those people are bad. I don't think anybody's bad on their face. But I think a lot of bad people have been put in very powerful positions. And I think it's wrong. And I think that's wrong. And we've put a lot of them in those positions. And that's the way I look at that whole argument. So I appreciate you chiming in. Blink twice if you have pics of Erica at Fort Huachuca. And blink 3 times if you're going to share them. Why would I tell you that? Gifted 5 Baron Coleman memberships. Look at you guys. You're going to show up for the member show. You're going to be very pleased. Hello, Bubba Baron. Andrew Wilson just challenged you to debate the Charlie Kirk case, saying he'll destroy you. Now TPUSA's master debater. No surprise. Can't wait until you, Candace, and all who really care are proved right. Go Max. I've discussed this challenge from different people 1,000 times. If someone wants to sit down and have a discussion, I am game. I will have fun. I think it would be a good idea. If somebody wants to debate, the terms of the debate have to be structured in accordance with logical outcomes. What is the debate on whether or not Tyler Robinson is guilty of the crime charged? Well, it is there enough evidence to overcome reasonable doubt? Well, how can you know that? We've not seen any evidence. We've seen a charging affidavit that is not evidence. We'll never see the light of day. He's not even had a preliminary hearing. And when he has a preliminary hearing, that's not even bound by the rules of evidence. So what is it that we're trying to debate? Now, if you switch the burden and put the burden on me to prove Tyler's innocent, that's not the standard. That's not what we have to prove. And so it's a foolish debate. It's a fool's errand. And I've seen a few people run that fool's errand, and it typically doesn't go well for them because it's not structured properly. But a debate on whether Tyler Robinson is guilty beyond a reasonable doubt would be very premature and very boring right now, because both sides would be like, yeah, we don't know what the evidence is on that yet, so we'll have to table that for another day. What about this thing? Well, we don't know what the evidence is on that, so we'll have to table that for another day. What a boring discussion. What a boring discussion. EK forgives him. Here people say, but not Drewski. But what about the fact that she is pushing for a speedy trial before evidence explored? Not very forgiving. Yeah, it's weird. That's all I'll say. I don't know. Comment too much on it. Please say hello to my 8-year-old granddaughter, Ella. Hey, Ella. Ella. Wasn't there a song about that? My umbrella, Ella. Hey, under my umbrella, Ella. It's about you, Ella. I know you're not stating any as fact, all is alleged, but the case is so dark, I want to remind us to keep our eyes on Jesus in the midst of it. Yeah, good call. With the exploding mic theory, what do you think of Zach Q's purpose going to hospital was? To provide bullet fragments? Curious about his role. Really don't know. It's a great question. That's a great question. I mean, it's still, I guess, alleged. He was never convicted of doing that. All we have is the radio transmission and the fact that we know he was questioned by police. His father said that. Would Tyler and his family be able to file lawsuits after the trial for false accusations? You're damn right they will. You're damn right they will. And I would not want to be these people who have stated up and down definitively he did it. Because this has precedent. It's happened in the past. You remember Nick Sandman? You know why you don't hear about Nick Sandman? He's rich. He's $100 millionaire. That's why. That's why. Love this opening statement. Love you, King Baron. Christ is King indeed. I felt like I needed to give a primer on it, like just an explainer on what reason, on what innocent until proven guilty means. Hi, two Fijis side by side near seat, one facing seat. What is that near its lid on the ground? Also see tape on other to hold pad to protect negative space. You saw tape? I don't even know where those pictures. Oh, I got them on my phone. I know that. I can find it on my phone. So you're saying there's tape on the two Fiji bottles? That might be the pad. It's got blood on it in the same spots. Daisy, this is what we're doing tomorrow on the show. This is our show tomorrow, Daisy. Holy mackerel, it's right there. How did we miss that? I'll show you what I'm looking at.
What is?
You see that? It's that.
Well,
I don't know how to get it in focus, but it's that. Right? With the two Fiji bottles. So this is the
I'm like squinting at the screen when I have it on my phone.
yeah, I know. Yeah, look at it on your phone. But it's the picture where the two Fiji bottles are back to back. And there's an EMS dressing, 4x4 dressing with some it's called quick clot EMS dressing.
Yeah.
Yeah, look between the two bottles. Does that not look like precisely what was on his ribs? It's the same shape. What is that?
Oh.
It looks like Jesus.
It looks like plastic, like a plastic wrap to me. Like, you know, like
right.
Y'all are gonna laugh, but like, you know, like when you buy like if you've ever seen like a brand new pack of cigarettes, they're like inside of like a plastic. They're like inside of like a plastic casing. Yeah.
We'll talk about it. I don't think that's what it is. I think it's got blood on it. I think that's it. We'll compare that to
look.
the side. Yeah, please do. Good catch, Merle. This is why we do these shows. Baron, please excuse following up on ear imprint on seat. Certain attached lobes, lines prove body position with knee on neck. I don't know how he stays on seat. I looked at that last night after I got off the show. So good find. I think you're right that his ear was there. I do. But I think the imprint is blood. And so what probably happened is there was blood and they put him on the seat for that. It doesn't mean there was a knee in it. I don't think the imprint is in the leather. I think it just looks like he probably has a dried blood on his ear from where it was in that little, whatever that was there. That's my take. You're free to disagree. Cody, thank you. My book, The Hidden Axis, releases in days. I believe God led me to get this to you, and I emailed it over. Put it into AI and asked what future patterns it suggests for markets, agriculture, war, and global shifts. I forgot before publishing, but I dedicated to you. Oh, thank you. That's very kind of you. Very kind of you. I'm almost glad you forgot, because people would be like, what the hell are you talking about? Who is that? But thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm very kind of you. You're the best, B. Keep going, Max. Christ is King indeed. And we got another gift dropping on someone's head. Baron needs some serious advice. 43rd birthday today. Okay. But I'm good fertility-wise. Wife's third IVF cycle canceled today. I don't know what else to do, but we want a baby so bad. Prayers. Yeah, I'm not giving any fertility advice, but I will say prayers. No doubt about it. Certainly will pray for you, Nathan Hill. But yeah, I don't get into all that fertility stuff. There's all kinds of different opinions on that. You just showed your source's name when you shared the text message giving you permission to share the photo of press. No, I people knew it was him. I mean, I think I said that flat out that it was Charles McClintock Wilson. So yeah, but thank you. Good catch. During the Am I Anti-Medic video, AK really tried to anti-medic. That's funny. He does not have nausea, ladies and gentlemen. AK really tried to manage CK in direct conversation. You're right. AK struggled to manage CK's maturing views. Correct. Good catch. For the complainers, if you watch on mobile in landscape mode, live chat on the right side, the GIFs animations won't pop up. Duly noted. Oh, Captain, my captain, if the narrative doesn't fit, you must have quit. They really do believe we were born yesterday. Oh, not yesterday. I heard it's in your name. I love being part of this high Q outfit. Love you. Christ is king indeed. Stay golden. You as well. You stay golden. Dr. Erica Franzia obtained master juris degree, but doesn't understand the fundamentals. Innocent until proven guilty. Well, Max B, Hebrews 8:13. No, she missed that day. She was absent that day. It was day one. Day one of crim law. She missed it. Baron, God bless you and the family. This is my first live ever, but I've seen all your videos. Amazing work. Can you kindly shout out my channel? Faith-based podcast, reading the Bible verse by verse. Thank you so much. Christ is king indeed. You did shout it out. I can, he can. Right there. Is it possible that isn't a pull socks in that picture, but a mic pack holster? The yellow bit you can see and the shape doesn't match the Santa medical device. Christ is absolutely king. Yeah, I mean, it's always possible. I think I still have mine. Yeah. So this is a pulse oximeter. This is what she's talking about. And you pull it out and it goes on your finger. Now, you could put anything you want in the case. It doesn't have to be a pulse oximeter. You could put a little pencil, a little golf pencil in there. You could put a folding ruler, that folds down. You could put a tiny nail clippers. You could put a little emery board. What else could you put in there? Put anything you want in there. One of those little eyeglass screwdrivers. You don't have to be a pulse ox. A little teeny tiny flashlight. Yeah, good catch. Could be anything. Hi, Barry, my first super chat ever. Just want to tell you thank you for all you and Candace are doing. Coleman Owens 2028. Christ is king indeed. She might take issue with that alignment. And I would be vice president, but I don't know that I want to be president. You said we won't see autopsy. We will never know, right? That's correct. Yeah, I don't think we'll ever see any pictures or videos from the autopsy. I'd be very shocked. It's a witch trial against Erica. They shouted as they carried pitchforks and torches against Tyler Robinson. Yeah, a little bit what it seems like. As a fellow Crow lover with a curious mind, I snatched that T-shirt up when I saw it. Love your show. Christ is king indeed. Yeah, we have a viewer named Patsy put that design together. She did a great job. First time super chat. Just want to say I deeply appreciate what you do. I work long hours, but I finally got a live show. God bless Go Max. Thank you for joining us. And thank you for putting in the long hours. Your society needs you. There's a lot to pay for. No, I'm just kidding. Baron, my 3-year-old and 6-month-old are big fans. When I open YouTube, my oldest asks to watch Baron or Candace. My little one coos and smiles at your voice on the TV. Congrats, Granddad. I can attest babies do, in fact, love you. My granddaughter was here today. She loved me. She adored me. May still be here. 2022, I dodged a bullet. Okay, I moved to Southern California while searching for a local church. I vetted Godspeak, Rob McCoy's church. I met him and got used car dealer vibes. Gave me the ick. His son-in-law is now lead pastor. Yeah, that's true. That's true. All that's true. Don't crap on your used car dealers though. There's some good, honest people out there. Like almost every car on the road was purchased from a used car dealer, and some really good people out there doing that work. Bare Bottom Blessed Beach Beer and Bong beneficiary. Roger that. Hope they're not brainwashing Tyler to plead guilty. Same. I definitely hope that's true. Martin McClennan, thank you. Brian Harpole on Sean Ryan. Sean Ryan asked Brian Harpole about exploding Mike. Harpole becomes extremely nervous and starts to say shape charge, but catches himself and corrects. Then Sean Ryan asks about chest injury from explosion, and Harpole specifically denies it. Yeah, all that's true. As far as I saw it. Don't sue me, Brian. That's his opinion, and I'm just kind of saying that's what it looked like. Vacationing in Malta and sporting my high IQ turquoise t-shirt. A Malta local recognized it. You're big in Malta, too. Go Max, Baron. Guys, we're huge in Malta. Not as big as Albania, Croatia, the Balkans, but huge in Malta. Thank you, Paula, for sharing that. It's both fun and terrifying. Isn't Malta like a big intel hub? I don't know that I want to be big in Malta. Hey, B, your opening Friday reminded me of the movie Vantage Point, where it keeps rewinding and showing the assassination from different points of view. More of that would be cool and helpful. Yeah, okay, I can help with it out. I can do that. I left a lot on the table, the cutting room floor, just for length. It was already like 2,800 words. Andrew, yeah, I don't care. No, I'm not going to debate somebody over. I will be happy to have a discussion with somebody. Absolutely, I'm open to discussion. I'm not closed from having discussion. I am in no interest in debating somebody over whether Tyler Robinson is guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Because the only thing that can happen is he can say, the charging document says this, and I can say, okay, that's hearsay. It's not coming in. Well, I think it'll come in. Well, I think it won't. Okay, fun debate. Okay, this is that. Well, here's how I would address that if I'm the defense. Well, I don't think that's good. Okay, we disagree. Next. I mean, what a boring thing to talk about. That's a boring thing to talk about. What I've seen Andrew do in the debate or two that I've seen him do on this is he tries to force the other person to take on the role of the prosecutor in having the burden. That the burden rests on the other person to prove Tyler's not innocent. And that's not the role of anybody talking about this case. Nobody should be in the business of trying to prove a criminal defendant's not innocent. Did you not listen to anything I said in the opening? He should watch it. He would learn a thing or two. My 16th grandfather deserves an honorable mention. Edmund Wingate wrote the Book of Common Law of England in the 1600s. He was blackballed for crossing his friend Charles I. Great opening anyway. Christ is king indeed. A shout out to Edmund Wingate. Looks like you guys changed the spelling, though, based on your screen name there. Regarding Blake Space, that's pretty cool that you know who that is. A person called him out in real time for not disclosing call was live, so he pretended he couldn't hear because of a tech issue and proceeded to delete the entire space. Sometimes the slop takes itself out. I was very disappointed in Blake. He's better than that. Well, I think he is. If not, he should be. If he's not, he should be. Hey, Baron, I wondered if it's true. Many people on X are saying that CO is begging to dismiss the lawsuit. I understand you might not be able to comment on this, but it's really bothering me. I can comment on it. She didn't tell me not to comment on it, and it's public filing. Her lawyer asked for an enlargement of time to respond. That's all. Now, he did reference, to be fair to the sloppers, he did reference in there a 12B6 possibility in the responsive pleading, but did not say with certainty that a 12B6 is coming. 12B6 is motion to dismiss for failure to state claims. In other words, saying even if everything they said is true, they've not stated a claim. But a motion to enlarge the responsive pleading time, an unopposed motion, by the way, to enlarge the responsive pleading time is not saying we're going to dismiss this. Not. A round of applause to opening statement. Thank you. I appreciate that. A great opening. Thank you. You guys are kind. How are Charlie's neck vertebrae broken? Christ is king indeed. I don't know. I have speculation, but I don't know. Pull in Walmart, listening to our humbled host. Man Park next to me says, my high IQ fam. Truth-seeking speakers. Great work. Number one fan, Pomaria, South Carolina. Christ is king indeed. Well, sounds like the number two fan was right next to you in Walmart. Big in Pomaria, guys. Big in Pomaria. I hope I pronounced that right. Did you notice, just as Candace said, Erica will appear at the hearing along with Charlie's parents? I wonder if they believe this narrative since they will be there. I speculated last week on whether she would be there, whether Charlie's parents would be there, whether any other family member, I don't know. I mean, who in Tyler's family? But I speculate. I don't know. I can't confirm all that reporting, but I would be surprised if she wasn't there. I know that might present some logistical challenges due to trying to keep the media under control. The media's done a pretty good job of not being out of control lately. keep in mind how this is going to be spun before it even happens. The preliminary hearing is a dog and pony show. They show up. The defense basically is sunk before it even begins. They're allowed to show things that are not admissible at trial. And they plan to. Like a statement from Lance Twiggs. That's not admissible at trial. But they're going to bring it in anyway. Violates Crawford versus Washington. But they're going to bring it in. Reports that are not in their final form have not been testified that they are, accurate. You don't know the qualifications of the person who wrote them. They're going to bring in business records that have not been authenticated. Like there's a lot that's going to come in that will never see the light of day at trial. Or if it sees the light of day at trial, it'll be subject to cross-examination. But what that's going to happen is the Fed sloppers are going to spin this as, see, this is open and shut case, man. So just prepare yourselves. It's a nonsense that's going to just flood the airwaves, and there's nothing we can do to stop it. A multi-agency cover-up in the demand for the death of TR most likely carries the blessing of the President of the United States. What example does that set for us at the grassroots level? Well, that's a pretty big assumption that the president was aware of it and blessed it. But if it's true, it's terrifying. But I don't know that I can't state with certainty that's true. I've sent an email regarding CIN and FOIA while you were live, catching you live from England. I've been here every day since Ian and always like the show. Thank you for your intelligence, humor, and truth. Well, I appreciate you guys who like the show. We've been looking at more emails lately than we used to, but not all of them. Well, we'll try to find it. Critter, humble host, please ignore all the haters. They want your attention, don't deserve it. Yeah. I figure with Candace being gone, all the hate she normally gets will slide over here for a week or two. Edge. B, he says in the text who the family member is. No, he doesn't. He says in the text who the family member confirmed the fact with, but he doesn't say who the family member he's talking to is. B, can you please... No. Can you run me through the Butch Hibbs theory again? The flight he took on August 25th from his home to Nashville, was it? Is that still linked to AES? I'm not going to run through the whole Butch Hibbs theory again. I did 2 shows on that. You're more than welcome to go back and find them. I will say this, on the flight that we don't even know he was on, there was a flight from Heber City. We speculated on this program that would have been a flight he might have been able to take. I have some additional information about that flight. We'll do a show on that in the near future. It's not a huge amount of information. I could do it in 10 minutes, but I can't do it in 1. So stay tuned for that. But if you want to know more about my thoughts on Butch Hibbs, we did two shows on him. Or 2 shows he was a prominent part of. I don't remember when it was, though. I'd point you back to it. I know it was cold because I remember going to Walmart looking for that shirt and it was cold outside. Caught up on yesterday's live. Interesting that AES contract was $825 and $827. TPUSA publicly announced CK at UVU. Appreciate your passion, integrity, and hard work day in and day out. B Daisy, Christ is King indeed. Yeah, those dates I believe are pretty accurate. So, and it is interesting. Thank you. Hey, Baron, your research and knowledge has made me muy inteligente. And I thank you. If you see this while on air, could you say hello to my 14-year-old niece, Haley? Hola, Haley. 14. That's a tough age. 14's a tough age, not because 14 in and of itself is a tough age, but it's the first, I think, really tough year of about a 4-year run of tough years. So best of luck to you, Haley. Didn't mean to get you down. Presumption of innocence is a gold standard, unless you have corruption. Judge and prosecutor in the WM3 case, West Memphis 3, Arkansas, and more. Yes. Obviously, it's not applied well all the time. Edge, get rid of Super Lady Troll. Oh, I don't know who that is. Class is in session. Dress code is only a high IQ outfit. And please behave in Truth Academy while our principal is on leave. Thank you, our humble host. Yeah, I'll be the acting principal for the next 2 weeks. You guys better behave or I'll report on you. I'll tell her what you guys are up to. You're in trouble. You'll be in trouble. You don't want her to know. I'm going to tell her all you people complaining about the gifts because I see you do it on her show too. Baron, you got people standing behind you because you're real, honest, and never afraid to say what needs to be said. Please keep giving it to us straight. Your fan base hears and respects you deeply. Christ is king. Indeed. I only know one way to give it. That didn't come out right. I will always be straightforward and honest with you. Much better effort there. Thank you. When it's proven he was in Washington County the afternoon of 9/11, their case is over. Can you imagine crossing all the law enforcement on their lies? Oh, my word, in the eyes of a jury, once credibility is lost, it's game over. Well, I see, here's the thing. I don't know any of that would be admissible at trial, but the judge would know. And more importantly, in this situation, the public would know. I think they would lose a lot of confidence of their sloppers. Radio traffic said rifle recovered west of the Losi building. Nowhere, not east, where they now show it recovered. Well, west of the Losi building would be in the Courtyard, right? I'll have to go back and listen to that. My 17-year-old son and his friends, us drop point. Gaming. Oh, use drop point. Gaming language. Oh, okay. Well, that's different. If that's true, that's different. Serving first-time jury duty next month. I'm an engineer and out of my wheelhouse regarding law, so a little nervous. Any advice? Thank you so much. Yes. My advice to anyone serving on a jury is don't worry about the law. The judge, if he's good, or she, will instruct you, in fact, to disregard the law entirely. You are not supposed to think about the law at all. Your job is to find the facts. Do the facts as presented from the witness seat, do the facts as presented meet the elements of the crime? Let the judge worry about the law. Thank you. What's SEK bar? I looked that up. Is that Swedish bucks or something? Well, thank you, Maria. With free. Today's a good day to try something new. How about a book recommendation list? I'm pulling your chain. Keep up the good work, Mr. Coleman. Christ is king indeed. I was about to come through the screen, Suzanne. I'm about to come unglued. I'll work on it. I'm up to 8 now. We're getting close. Are they going to pay off jury members? How else are they going to win the case if there's so much evidence showing the prosecution's case is BS? Well, again, I hate to be pedantic, but you don't have to use evidence to show the prosecution's case is BS. So it really depends on how the judge structures the trial, what the jury's allowed to consider. So we'll have to see that when the time comes. My husband was in the Marines for 12 years, said a military op would use the term drop point. Love you, B. Christ is king indeed. Apparently military ops and gamers, according to our amazingly high IQ jury. Amazing B, if you remember in January, I told you this exact info with TR and his dad, Matt, worked for my friend's cabinet company. They asked for the BSP, Bishop, to get TR somewhere safe so they didn't kill him. You are great. I do remember you saying that, Graham. Now that you mention it, I do remember you saying that. But now we've got it from a little more of a direct source. Thank you for your hard work. Love your show. Christ is king indeed. Love Maria from Sweden. I don't see any shards of glass on the X-Pick. I think there would be at least 1 or 2 glass pieces visible on the chest. Impossible to contain all in shirt, even if they tried. I think that's an assumption that we can't make. Piece in the SUV is face of the mic facing downward. Cardboard colors the stick tape that line the inside to prevent the glass from going anywhere. The black is not charring, but the glass face that has flapped right way up. I know exactly what you're talking about. I don't know what it is. For the homies, for the 2 homies in the chat who confirmed my landscape trick, y'all need anything from the gas station? You need anything, Baron? Yeah. A purple body armor. That's my go-to gas station pick. Sorry, guys. That day, a red TPUSA staff person said a red TPUSA staff. Oh, person in red shirt. I'm going to say, you don't think we refer to people by their skin color on this show. That's kind of bad. He was a red. You mean American Indian? Said they were trying something new and streaming live to their command center in Utah. Private execution party, if travelers from those planes, maybe? I don't know. Command center in Utah. I think he said to the ops in Arizona is the way Candace reported that. I don't know. Baron, what percentage of convicted are plea bargains? First-hand knowledge of corruption against the poor. Oh, upwards of 96% or more, probably, if I had to guess. Vast majority. I pray for scanner archives access. Anyone listening to The Arresting Agency County? Have you heard Good Citizen by IMA yet? I have heard the song, sure. It was recommended by like 4,000 people over a 2-day period. Anyone listening to The Arresting Agency County? That's a good question. Daisy, let's consider that. Let's look for Washington County around. Did we listen already?
I did. Yeah, there's nothing.
Oh, nothing. Yeah.
We have them though, but yeah.
So to speak. Bullet fragment is an artifact at best. I mean, okay. It's axiomatic, what you just said. Edge, discuss spy plane on a show with Kent. FYI. Yeah, it's what I said. That's why we put the clip out. Hey, Baron, greetings from Pole in UK. Times are dangerous, but we should not fear of evil. By the way, did you know Kirk means church? I did. Scottish. The Scottish Kirk. I heard Tyler called into work because he was supposed to be helping his grandmother move furniture on 9/10. She lives in Panguitch, where he had the steak dinner. I think Candace reported, not 100%. I don't think that's 100% accurate. But it's not too far from pretty accurate. You said you used to say if you put your keys in the same spot every night, you're an accountant. You forgot to say if you get your wife to place her keys in the same spot every night, you're a Jedi Master. Well, that's not very polite. Not inaccurate, but not very polite. Any significant correlation to the Fort Campbell bomb threat on the exact same day as the AES explosion? None that I can find. None that I've heard of. They expected to kill TR when he went for a gun at 11:50. I don't think so. Why would they have taken the tape down and all disappeared? I think they just wanted his car on camera. Do you think they rolled up Charlie's shirt, changed into scrubs, and dug around the ground because C4 is toxic? Nausea, vomiting, seizures. I think you're onto something. I think it sounds about right. The PBD and Luna spoke about foreign involvement. She states that EK won't mention it because she doesn't want TR to get a NG, but Neville Roy Singham is linked to money traces, money for his top CK new director. I have no idea what any of them. It's Crisis King indeed, though. I know that. I have no idea what all that means. Why off CK so publicly with so many variables to control? Well, that's a good question. Probably to make it believable and not suspicious. But then it went wrong and it was really suspicious. Hello from your number one fan in Poplar Bluff, all the way from Mizzou. Keep up the great work. I'm doing my best out here. Thoughts on Andrew Wilson working with TPUSA? No, I don't have any. They can work with whoever they want. I don't care. That doesn't bother me at all. Do you think TR family is telling the info you and Candace have uncovered to his lawyers? Do we know what defense is? Why didn't they hire a lawyer like Alan Jackson? God bless you. So glad we all found you. I don't know the answer to any of those questions. I wish I did, but I don't. Did you look up PSCV 129 includes telecom server voice in it? No, I don't even know why you're mentioning that. I don't have enough context, but thank you. Watching you all work together gives me all the feels. No one in my world follows this, so you've become like family to me. Brothers, sisters, aunts, and uncles. Daisy, too. They never saw this coming. Christ is king. Keep going, Max. No, they never saw this coming. They had no idea. They had probably never heard of my name, Zach Costello's name, Coach Colin, Bays, Danks, Nate. I mean, I don't know who they'd heard of and who they had, but they did not see this coming. I genuinely think they thought this would be like a 72-hour news story and go away. Hello, Baron. Paul Cassandran Catholicon here. Please call me when you can. It's urgent. Apologies. I don't mean to be annoying. I know you're a busy man. I'm happy to pay for your time. Superb opening statement and explanation of U.S. judicial ethos. Paul Cassandran Catholicon. Okay. Why is it urgent? But thank you. B, Daisy needs help. I'm reporting for duty, sir. Mad World. Did I get you back on? I tried to get you back on. I think for whatever reason, you didn't come up as an option when I tried to add you back as a mod. I need to check that out. Please follow up with Darren Brunson. You played his clip Friday. For quick reference, Brunson versus Adams. Love an opening statement on it. He seems very credible. Thank you. Seems to me that he must have gone back to Panguitch to grab his rifle and then went back to Orem to drop it for them so they could find it in the morning. Why else would he be back and forth? I don't know, just a thought. No, I don't think that's accurate at all. Kind of the way I look at it is, it was a, hey, we're meeting in Panguitch, and, no one was there. And then it was a, hey, go back to Orem and pick up that rifle right now. And, if I had to guess, I don't know. That's kind of how I look at it. If we were to suppose that Charlie actually did fake his demise, I know you don't believe it, but as a what if, can you suggest why or what he was running away from? That's such wild speculation for me. But he lived what I would consider a pretty miserable life. I mean, he was rich, very rich. A lot of people think, well, that's a great life, being rich. Well, not if you don't control your own social media. You can't control who you talk to. You're on the road 300 days a year. When you get home, your wife takes your phone away. What a miserable life. If you've ever traveled for a living, it's tough. It's hard. Not to mention, he spent a long time scared he was going to go to prison. It's a truism. Once again, the FBI, CIA proved they can't even run an assassination attempt. 9/11, Oklahoma City. Government incompetence never changes. That's a big vote of confidence I have living here, is that the government's pretty lousy at what they try to do. Is that a fold AR? No, it's not. Christ is King indeed, but thank you. His car is close. Why risk dropping the rifle? That's a good question. I don't know. I don't believe it was him running off the roof, so I don't think he dropped the rifle. Thank you to our humble IQ host. Love your show. All the way from South Africa with some Zarbucks. Have you noticed Terrell makes big stomp with right foot looking down at the exact moment the bang happens? Watching slow motion with sounds, it's sus. No, but my 5-year-old stamps his foot a lot when he doesn't get his way. Wow. This all blows my mind. Keep going, Max. I'll do my best. Jamie. Jamie. Edge. So Twigs narked before we knew he narked. Yes. I think I've got strong opinions on Twiggy. Strong opinions, Twiggy. King B, my mom turns 95 on July 4th. Her name is Sally. Lives in North Dakota and a big fan. Would you give her an early birthday shout out and make her day? Please and thank you. Love you, B. Christ is King indeed. Sally. Have you heard the song Mustang Sally? Being 95, that puts you about the right age for that song to be about you. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Happy birthday. Prayers needed. Mom in ICU for heart and kidney failure from alcohol abuse. I'm her only child. Everything is on me. Unlike others my age, I never cut contact as tempted as I've been at times. Christ is King indeed. Oh, man, that's tough. And I hope she pulls through. I genuinely do. And prayers for you. And good on you for doing it. You have a fun and good spirit. 2 weeks ago, you said something I need to see on a shirt. Nurse Casey, call me skeptical. God bless. Fan since early December and hope to see you growing. I'm stuck at 6 foot. At 46, you don't grow anymore. But thank you. The video of the next day of the guy getting arrested in it is AI. Look at the cop's head on the right side. Shadow goes into head or demon, probably both. I'll have to take a look at that. I don't know why they would create that AI image. In my opinion, Trump is complicit in Charlie Kirk's death. Christ is King indeed. That's your opinion. Your opinion only. Well, it might not be on your opinion only, but hi, Baron. It's such a shame that by we, I mean you, are doing all this investigating, and it may not change the outcome in the event he's wrongly charged guilty. How do we rectify that going forward? I don't know. I wish I did. Strong work, Baron. Very high IQ. Sprouts in Central Valley, California. Has Mountain Valley. Oh, I'm probably not going to make it. I took the bait. Delicious. Oh, you made it, though. Delicious water. Christ is King indeed. It is delicious water. It is very delicious. Christ is King indeed. I saw a YouTube video of the exploding mic theory a long time ago, and he showed something falling from the top of the tent. Potentially shrapnel ricocheting off the top. Have you investigated that? Investigated it? I did a whole show on it with Ian Carroll. Go look it up. It was a good show. Thank you, Lindsay. Be sure to watch every episode. It's important. I sent you an email on the order for the C4 Block 7 of page 1 is contracting officer in 00164. Block 8 is the requisitioner number. Look up that number. Oh. Duly noted. Thank you. Thank you. But we know who the contracting officer was. So why is that? We already know his name on the sam.gov. Isn't it time that these dumb heinies confront the brutal reality that the audience is not that of 1963? Rhetorical. Well, being rhetorical, I won't bid a response. I just joined the Spaceman's platform and have been watching the wrath of these haters online. Oh, you talking about X? But never fear, I got your back, my B. Perimenopause is a lethal weapon. Oh, goodness. They're toast. They have no idea what's coming. Sarah, thank you. No idea. Baron, please find out how to turn off the gifts. The gun was not supposed to be found when it was. That was the spot for them to take him out when he returned to pick it up. The guy that found it wasn't an FBI regular cop. Oh, I see what you're talking about. I don't know, but that's an interesting thought. Fellow Fleetwood Mac fan here. My dog's name is Stevie. What's your favorite song? Mine is Silver Spring. Favorite Fleetwood Mac song? I think I answered this the other day. I think I went with Songbird, which, if you know me, and you know my fans on Stevie versus Christine, strange I would pick that song, but it's so beautiful. So beautiful. Songbirds are singing. They know the score. I cannot be Christine McVie. What are the odds that the remote ops center on September 10th was Fort Huachuca? Back in Arizona? I've not heard that mentioned before. I don't think. That's crazy. TPUSA, okay. During his explanation of meeting EK during the initial trip, he couldn't help but mention your humble host. I guess Clock Tower X isn't enough. I did totally miss this today. The first comment I heard today was the first I'd heard of it. But good. I hope he watches every episode and learns a thing or two. But bro, why no notice on socials for change of time? I don't have a set time. And I announced at the last show that I would be doing it earlier. And historically, when Candace has been out of town, I've typically gone earlier. And I give YouTube notifications of what time I typically start. I don't know, man. I put the show up at 2:30 and didn't start till 4:30. I apologize. It'll be early again tomorrow. Trump is the animal after Charlie Kirk had him elected. Oh, from Trump's quote. I don't know. Can you explain the hole in the shirt for a super? No, I can't. Not relative to a 30-06. Bad sloppers are pathological. Reminds me of Casey Anthony taking the cops to her job that she hadn't worked at in 2 years. That's pretty pathological. They want you to not believe your lying eyes. It's infuriating, but we're in it together. Love you, my B. Jesus loves you too. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Only logical conclusion is he's alive in the theater fail. The gun, the wound, the blood squirt, the assassin, the concerted narrative, the unwillingness to ask, the alarming quiet parents, the fake wife. Look no more. You make a compelling case. No, I'm just kidding. I think he's dead as a wedge, but I mean, it would shock me, but I wouldn't be like, oh no, I've never considered this. Like, I've considered it. I don't talk like that much. I see you enjoying Mountain Valley water. Have you ever visited Hart Springs, Arkansas, where it is from? Such a fun little town. You can stay in the Al Capone suite at the Arlington. Fun trip. The only time I've been through Arkansas was to drive through it on my way to Springfield, Missouri. A pretty little town, though. A pretty little state where I was. You're on fire tonight, Sir B. They've lit a fire under your hiney. Indeed. Love how seamless you swatted the haters away in less than a minute. I might say big W to you and the team for this, Jim. Thank you, mate. I'm doing my best out here, sir. I'm doing everything I can. I'm giving it all I got, Captain. Who's going to play my B in the movie of the decentralized investigation once concluded? God bless you. Sterling job, sir. Christ is king indeed. Thank you. Here's my thing. Let's say you work at a coffee shop and someone wants to throw you a 25-cent tip, but you give $2 tips, and they take just, they gotta wait in line. They gotta dig around. You gonna tell the coffee guy not to take 25 cents? Like, I think the gifts were a way where everybody could get involved without having to. That's my take on it. I don't know. I didn't even know they were doing this. Had no idea it was. I've never seen it in practice. But I do know this. One of the things YouTube looks at an algorithm is on distribution is people donating. So why would I purposely limit the distribution of the program? That doesn't make any sense. Don't you want more people to find the show? Keep up the great work, Baron Christ King. Indeed, I will do my best. Newbie here. This is my first live, even though I've been watching your videos for a while now. Could never catch you live. God bless you and your family. Christ is King indeed. I'm sorry, Denise. You had to watch through all the gifts. Christ is King indeed. Defense witnesses that bring in solid doubt and can withstand cross. George Zen, Kensington, and old guy with rifle being detained, and Sky Valdez. Thoughts? I don't know. Don't know what they would say. Preach my B. Judge Graff, don't let them do this in your courtroom, sir. Most judges I've met along the way, at least the ones I've personally known, do not like people pulling things over on them at all. And if they get a hint that one side is being blatantly dishonest, it doesn't go well for them. That's just the judges I've been involved with. Feels how I felt when I burnt last night's dinner. My husband said I didn't, that it was great. I saw the char. It was burnt. The Colts didn't win. I can't beat that. Can't beat that. Glad you didn't burn the toast, though. Has anyone done an analysis of the range of sight from the top of the Losi Center where Charlie Kirk was? 142 yards. Could his neck even be visible of where he was? Yes, that's what, well, as long as they lifted the tent up and set him on a big giant plastic tub, it was. Weird. Lucky they did, right? Hi, humble host. If this cover-up goes as high as it's seeming to go, what makes you so sure that the judge hasn't been paid off or is involved as well? Hard to trust anyone involved is honest. I'm just guessing. Guessing he's an honest guy. Hello, Mr. B. Is the number one slot open for Texoma? Oh, sure. I'll take it. Anthony. Yeah, it's yours. I don't even know where that is. Texoma. Charlie wore a very specific shirt that day. I found it and bought it online. Hard to find. It's so thin you'd see anything through it. It's a fact. I could see my small tattoo through it. I have pics. I couldn't see the microphone through it, and it's a big black square. So I hesitate to believe that. Sir Baron, I love the water. The goat water is incredible. Love it. Thank you so much for all the hard work and you and Candace have put into this. Christ is King indeed. I don't even sell this stuff. I get nothing from it. All I'm doing is drinking delicious water. And if you happen to like it as well, you're welcome. Mountain Valley's going to say, what the hell's going on out there? We're selling so much goat water. Sir, the goat water's flying off the shelf. And why are we calling it goat water? I mean, we have that effect on people. Baron, what do you think will transpire within TPUSA in the next 2 weeks? Also, I hit the 1-year sober mark this past Saturday. Pretty awesome considering where I was for the 20 years prior. Christ is King indeed. You're a true inspiration. And I hope someone in the comments hears that and makes today their day one. What do I think will transpire? I don't know. It's not going to get any easier on him when she gets back, I promise you. Worried they will buy jury like twigs. You're not alone. There are 3 TR. TR, number 1, himself makes an appearance. TR2 walks up the stairs. TR3, military that hangs from second floor and then drops down. TR1 did drop from the Losi Center. He would really have a lip from a broken leg. Yeah, I mean, I think there could be more than that. I think there could have been multiple TRs before he even showed up. I think there could have been one walking down the street, one driving the car. I mean, it's TR City, baby. Please tell your audience to settle down about the gifts. They're behaving like it's a witch hunt and have forgotten how to endure mild inconveniences. Disappointed to see their mistreatment of others. Hey, listen, I'll give you a great example. I used to work at the job I had before this. And there was I don't call her a young girl. I mean, she's probably 25, 30 years old. But there was a gal there who was tasked with ordering lunch. We were having a big meeting, I can't remember who was in town, investors or board member. I can't remember who was in town, but it was a big meeting, like a big to-do meeting. And so the office bought lunch for everybody who was there that day. And it was one of those put in your order type things. And so she circulated a menu from a local restaurant in Franklin and said, it was a restaurant. We're going to walk over, pick up the stuff. Here's where we're ordering from. And like, there's a lot of stuff I don't like to eat. Some stuff makes me a little wheezy or sneezy, but I was like, you know what? It's one of those days. You just bone up and order something. If it's on there and you just pick around it or don't eat it, whatever. And so I just ordered something, pot roast or something. I don't remember what I ordered. But I came up the stairs to check on her. And, you know, you get everything you need. Everybody put an order in. Do I need to go back down and, you know, put the whip down on anybody to get them to respond? And she was basically like frazzled. And I was like, what's the matter? And she was like, these orders are a nightmare. Every single order has 4 different modifications. And I want to add this and I don't want that. And I want to, she's like, I just don't even like, I don't even begin to know where to start. There's a lot of people. And then she said the most profound thing I'd ever heard. She said, people just need to learn how to make do. And I've been living by that for a long time. There are certain situations where you just got to make do. Like you're in public and something goes mildly wrong, make do. You're at a restaurant and there's a table of 12, make do. Pick something off the menu and move along. Just make do. Make do. Like if you're out by yourself and you're sitting up at the bar and the bartender, you know, kick up a little conversation and you want a weird thing off the menu and you're going to make 7 modifications, that's fine. But don't hold up a table of 12. Make do. And if you're watching a show and somebody decides, hey, I'm going to make do. That's what I would say. That's what I would say. Thank you, though. Y'all are doing fabulous work. But in my opinion, legal-minded podcasts aren't complete without fun, high IQ hypotheticals. Consider this an official member request for all the fun hypos. Paige, you put a big burden on your homo host. Hypotheticals take time to develop. Hey, B, can we make a jailhouse phone call to Tyler and ask him what time he turned himself in? Seriously, love you. I'm not going to tell you to do that. I doubt he will tell you. I doubt he'll answer. I don't know. But who am I to tell people what to do? Good thing I believe Judge Graff is extremely fair. Well, thank you, Michelle Catania. Need another Gary Laugh Baron. Ian Carroll just reposted a banger of a compilation video of Gary explaining just how unlikely it is for a 30-06 to cause no exit wound. Well, consider me, I'm actually on Ian Carroll's page right now. Consider me oh, yes. It's 4.5 minutes long. I'm not going to play it because it's got a lot of blood and gore. It's got a lot of guns in it and stuff. But I am going to watch this after the show. Go ahead and repost it right now. Repost. Sorry, Gary. You live and you learn. You're going to change teams. You got to do it before you say too much. Oh, did I? Oh, yeah. If Tyler and his parents say he's innocent, why would he turn himself in or think he was in danger? Makes no sense if police didn't have a name. You go rewind. Maybe I didn't explain myself very well, so I'll give you a brief explanation here. I do believe they thought he was in danger. I thought I said that pretty clearly. And just because you're not guilty of murdering Charlie Kirk doesn't mean that there weren't crimes committed that day. But I think the primary thing was safety. I even showed the text messages at the beginning of the show about that. So I did my best. If I failed, the burden's on me, and I apologize. But I think if you go back and watch, it'll clear it up. Hell of a show tonight, B&D. Thank you for the sacrifices. All the blood, sweat, and tears you put in daily. Fighting for the truth isn't always a popular thing to do. Praying for you all daily. Thank you. Appreciate that. Could use them. Sir Baron, your hair looks amazing today. Oh, now I'm self-conscious about it. What? I can barely see it. I'm like this. I'm like that big up there. But thank you. Now it looks terrible. Mikey, we are counting on you to do the right thing. I agree. Mikey, the time is now. The time is now. I cannot imagine with the high level involvement in the cover-up that the parties involved would leave the outcome to chance with a judge who isn't compromised and has a conscience. That's a good point. I hadn't quite considered it that far through, but thank you. One of two. The third scenario for AK leak texts is, if the TP staff was read in but not fully. They may have thought something was going to happen, but no harm would come to CK. Security team may have known It explains MMC's nonchalant walk away and visceral reaction to hospital. And if it pissed off AK, then he may have spilled the beans to bring the other parties down with TP. Well, that's certainly a thought. Anyone tried to contact the lawyer? TR's parents tried to get hold of? No, someone asked that yesterday. I've not heard anybody who has. He's retired. When do you think the car team will say they just stepped on the mic in the car while in the hectic saving of Charlie? Seems like their only way out. Love your work. Good luck. I own these things. I've accidentally stepped on them. They fall off on the ground and oh man. It's like stepping on a Lego. They don't give. They're tough little boogers. Hey, B, after we come to some kind of conclusion to the CK case, what are some of the topics and or cases you're interested in covering? Yeah, stay tuned. We'll get there. That explains MMC's nonchalant walk away. Oh, I already read that. If the plan was to use a shape charge and something went wrong, how did they get Tyler in his pew-pew there in time to switch the narrative? No. The plan is to I don't like shape charge. I don't use that. But if the plan was to use some sort of a device, I like that simulated a chest shot, which is what I think probably was supposed to happen. And then to simultaneously pin it on a patsy. That's the plan. The what went wrong was it hit him in the neck, and it's not believable as the 4-minute and 35-second compilation I just reposted to X shows, I'm assuming, that Ian put up. That's what went wrong. That it hit him in the chest, I think people would have kind of walked away and been like, yeah, it sucks. Really bad. Do you think Tyler will get acquitted of murder? Yes. I do. But I mean, I don't know. You never, I was having this conversation with someone last night. You're never more than 50-50. Like any lawyer tells you you're 80-20 but if they tell you you're 50-50, you're in good hands. Like he's really confident. Having a hard time thinking how many people are involved in this cover-up. They can't all be evil. I know some are scared. I pray someone steps up. Tell the truth. Nothing is worse than hell. Christ is king indeed. Here, let me give advice. I don't know that anyone is watching at this point. I don't know that anyone at TPUSA is watching. I don't know that anybody that would be involved in some sort of cover-up is watching. But here's what I would say. You don't have to come forward publicly. You can do what Mikey did. You come forward behind the scenes, and instead of saying, look closer into Andrew, you say, look at this. Or look over here. Or just here's what happened. And once you know what happened, now investigate accordingly. It narrows the scope of the investigation quite a bit. If this involved big players, should we consider the judge as being blackmailed to have this matter go in a direction? Number one fan from South Africa. I mean, all things are on the table. I wouldn't rule it out. I don't rule anything out. Day after, bang, Benny J stated he heard from inside source at TPUSA that state actors may be involved. Have you seen it? He flipped as well. We played it like a week ago on this show. So yes, we've seen it. They had played it on this show. Can we run the tag on the SUV he was shoved into? Utah's Z33 4AA. Police officers can wonder who owned the vehicle before it was auctioned. I don't think that's in dispute. I think it was a rental car company. And once they sell it to the auction, they no longer own it. So it's that plate kind of dies there. I'm not sure what it would show you, but yeah, you can find some PI. They could probably run it. Baron, you taught accounting. I'm an MBA accounting and struggling. I hate it. Any study tips from a humble host? No, it was a long time ago. Long time ago. I was good in accounting classes, except for cost accounting. Challenged your humble host a little bit. He probably didn't put as much time into it as he should have, and he did not get his highest grade in his undergrad years. Was not achieved in cost accounting. I still have nightmares, and I'm waking up trying to figure out works in process. But have fun. Ivan, GBC, you're a straight up baller. May God bless you and keep you and yours happy, healthy, and secure. Gary, you're still a big dummy. Christ is king indeed. Well, that's your opinion, Ivan. Well, not only your opinion, but it is your opinion. Minute 14:15 of Brian Enton Investigates. Translover, incredibly cooperative episode. His sources say Tyler Robinson already on a list developed by FBI suspects based on license plates and facial recognition. How? It's a great question. I don't know. I haven't seen that. Trump knows everything and is intentionally letting FBI get caught. But I don't know. I don't buy all the 70 chess stuff from Trump. Did you see the email from ORMDA to Sheriffs Brooksby? It would have helped me if you'd told me what it said. I might have some context to know. Colts out here catching strays. I'm a lifelong Colts fan, sir. Well, not lifelong because they weren't in Indianapolis when I was there when I was born, but they were there when I was very little. I'm a big Colts fan. I can dish out strays because they've broken my heart 1,000 times. ChatGPT told me CK was alive and I was mistaken about him being assassinated. Drax said he died September 11. The reliance on AI to answer questions. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. And people just take it at face value. Like, look, it says he's alive. I'm like, it did not analyze that. It probably like was trained on Jesse on Fire videos for that week. I still think the land of the tiny hats is part of CK's unaliving. I can't get past BN jumping on our airwaves and his denial of involvement right out of the gate. Tyler was just an intelligence recruit following orders, not a criminal. But Tyler wasn't connected to UVU in any capacity. So I don't understand that connection you're drawing. Bless you, Baron, for not shutting people down. Why would I? Oh, Captain, my captain, will you please say hello to my son, Jackson? Baptized yesterday at church. Christ is King indeed. Jackson. Hello. Hello. Opening statement idea, Judge Sirica, who dug for the truth regarding CIA Watergate burglars. Yeah, except I think that was all a scam. Not sure if this has already been brought up. Is it possible Charlie was electrocuted to detonate the C4 in his mic? Yeah. I mean, okay, let's say there was C4 in his mic or C4 in his body somewhere. And he is electrocuted, shocked through his microphone. And that sends a charge that begins a detonation process yeah, maybe. I mean, that's complicated, but yeah, maybe. Daisy. Baron, great show as usual. Earlier, when you were reading the transcript between Lance and Tyler, it made me want to ask you if you've seen the video where Danks and I reenacted it. Shakespeare style. If not, we'll get it to you. I watched it live, sir. I watched it live. It took you guys a few tries. You kept stepping over each other's lines. That's a real Baze. Baze is a gangster. Baze is a gangster. If you don't subscribe, you should. Bug spray details. One last time, please. Oh, I don't remember. I'll have to look it up. Thank you, my humble host. You're the bomb, and I wear my hat and shirts and tell everyone about you. Well, thank you. Thank you. I wish I could give you some bug spray to go along with it, but I'd have to stop and look it up, and I don't want to do all that. But thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I did show it, I think, on 2 different shows. How would things proceed if evidence points to other people and a larger conspiracy emerges? Would it need to be prosecuted? Who can press charges, if any? Well, any competent agency with jurisdiction could press charges. Presumably maybe the federal government could press charges. Perhaps Utah County could press charges against those people. The Attorney General's office probably can press charges. I don't know how Utah law works, but I would assume they can. Guy in lab coat that went to crime scene is a distraction while someone else goes and gets something else. Thoughts? Perhaps. Cahaba Brewing Company in Alabama. Been there. You got my CIK indeed shirt. Yay. Well, thank you. Goat water in Fed court for lying about contaminants. They'll be fine. Tastes delicious. Can't be that many contaminants. Do you still think this will eventually have social impact against censorship of government? Dealing with some of this land down under. Also, can't give up sugar. Oh, you can. You don't want to. I will say it's addictive. It's going to suck. Switch to something natural like medjool dates in the meantime. Or coconut covered medjool dates. Great little snack. A couple of medjool dates a day. Keep the doctor away. And it satisfies that sweet tooth when you're just hankering. When it's hankering. I'm curious if we believe everyone's afraid to say they have proof it wasn't Tyler. How on earth can we expect Mikey to open up and tell the truth? I don't know. We'll find out. Did you see Dre Dossier made the news? Yeah. Actually, The Guardian, my first day as a member, and I've been here for over 8 months. Crisis King and Day, thank you. Thank you for joining us. I did see that. Dre Dossier, she sent it to me. Texted it over, I think, this morning. And we had a brief little chat on it. Very proud of her. Making the big time. The trad media. you like biblical scholarship for the supernatural world, the book to read is The Unseen Realm by Dr. Michael Heiser. Also has 2 great true fiction books on aliens. All docs are real. The Portent and the Facade. Well, thank you. Good recommendation. First time Tuesday chat was the police scanner message on September 11, 11:52 p.m. after Tyler was in custody. No, it was September 10th at 11:52 p.m. Well before Tyler was in custody. Makes sense to blame OGA and EK. Turn to them for protection. Okay. Can you please try to read the chat when they send the gifts? Covers the whole chat screen. I don't even know what that means. Covers the whole chat screen. Okay. Would love to request a segment on Gary before and after. I never watched him, but don't want to support that channel. Or have you already done this? Thank you for sharing your gifts and talent. I'm not going to waste my time doing that. Gary is not worth time on this program. Biggest fan, Lewiston, Idaho. Outcast, GOAT, rap duo. I'm a fan. Lewiston, Idaho. Isn't that one of the places where the Dr. Lee DuPont Trotter works? I think it is. Could be wrong. Baron, please check your P.O. box for grandbaby gifts. Check from Alaska. I might go tomorrow, actually. Tuesday morning is typically a day I get out. I don't get out much. Some days I do. Mister, I've been everywhere, man. Unbelievable how you've been everywhere. Someone mentions. I know how people make the water. Is it the same with goat water? People make water. How do people make water? You just dig it out of the ground, right? Well, surface, air. I don't think you can make it. Well, maybe you can. Can you please ask Nurse Casey if we get a Curious Mind graphic on women's V-neck tee? Pretty please. Thank you. Love for my B. Crisis King. Indeed, Nurse Casey. Nurse Casey. We have a request. Cassie waiting on her reschedule. Thank you. I need to do that. It might be worth listening to Andrew Wilson video. He actually states he will answer all of your questions, not debate. Oh, okay. He has a big sticker on verbiage. Hold him to his own standard. I'm open to it. I just don't care. Like, I am not in this to try to change Andrew Wilson's mind. That's not my point. My point is to gather as much evidence as I can in the limited time we have before this thing goes to trial and get as much information out as possible to try to figure out who killed Charlie Kirk, how, and why. My goal is not to convince any individual person's mind, to change any individual person's mind. So I'm not intrigued by it. Like, it doesn't intrigue me. I have a question on what is the best way to share what I have and believe about Charlie Kirk's death and the information we learned about EK. They believe the Fed slop. They call us evil. I do a podcast. I mean, if you had, depends on who you want to share it with. Put it on X. Lots of ways to share information. Biggest fan from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Love your cadence and what you're doing. Thank you. Cadence. I've never had my cadence complimented before. Now I'm self-conscious. That was a cool movie, Cadence. That's the sound of the... I'm lost now. I can't even talk. My cadence? Really? Thank you. Christ is King indeed. Let me try to read this without my normal cadence. Can you get the Lab Go Kai's picks? Something fishy. Yeah, you get it. I mean, look up Russell Kim Kennington. They're all over the place. I just came to say I'm not having any issues watching from my TV. Jesus Christ is King. Love y'all. Keep going backs. We'll do our best. Bearing that OS called Tagaderm on the Fuji bottles. Oh, that is called Tagad. I've heard of Tagad. Why would they have Tagaderm out? Like if you go get a tattoo, don't they put Tagaderm on it when you leave, like to keep it fresh for a few hours before you can get home and wash it off, like really clean it? That would indicate it was on his body beforehand. You wouldn't put Tagaderm over the neck wound. So why would they have Tagaderm out? That is shady if that's Tagaderm. We're going to have to look into this. That might be the break in the case. I'm not kidding either. What is a Broward guy supposed to do if he comes face to face with Palm Beach Pete? Be polite. But what else would you do? What would you do if you come face to face with anybody? Be polite, say hi if you are so inclined. Be ready to take a picture, but have your phone out. Like you see him, get your phone out, get it on photo. Be like, hey, Palm Beach Pete, love your work. And he goes, great. Thank you. I appreciate it. Can I get a quick pic? And then move on. And then move on. That's what you would do. Or leave him alone or just wave. Be polite. Hi, Baron. I'm behind. But this is why AI scares me. What if they can recreate him turning himself in? Oh. Well, wouldn't at that point his family want to do a press conference and say, that ain't what happened? We weren't there. I'm hunting down the goat water because of you. Oh, it's good water. Good water. I should have cut a goat water deal before I showed you all the goat water. News says CK's parents will be at hearing. Thoughts? I hope they're right. They should show up. They should show up. And their son died. The pic is a pic a viewer referenced, and Daisy said looked like plastic wrap. There's actually a medical adhesive called Tagaderm. We use it in medicine to secure something like an IV port or med patch. Guys, this is a break in the case. I think this is a break in the case because I'm going to look at the size of a Tagaderm patch and see if it matches the size that I think that negative space is. And then you got to ask what was under it. What was it on? What was it used on? You're not using it on a neck wound. I'm sorry. You're just not. Right? I mean, what if would they like shove the gauze in there and put the Tagaderm over it to hold it in? That doesn't make sense. I wouldn't think. I'm not an emergency medicine professional. I agree with everything you say. Man, would you be my kid? But what makes you believe the judge won't be in on it too? I don't know. Naivete. Naive belief in the criminal justice system. Naive belief in the goodness of lawyers. Be safe with your 4th of July fireworks. I don't do 4th of July fireworks, ma'am. I watch them. Christ is king indeed. I've been so excited about the show yesterday and how you went around the loss of evidence in the explosion and foiled it. They blew up their business for nothing. You're the best. Oh. We can't draw that conclusion. We can only say that what the evidence showed. This is what the document showed. Baron, what if the judge and jury in the whole room is bought and paid for? Well, that would be terrible. That would really cause me to lose faith in society. I found the VIN to Charlie's vehicle. I'll email now. VIN is a sub. VIN is sub. I don't know what VIN as sub means but subject. Oh, thank you. Yeah. Please clip the Simon Says, Eric and Charlie. That was funny, wasn't it? I didn't mean to do that. That just came out. What is goat water? Can't find it online. Oh, it's this. I just called it goat water. So Mrs. Coleman and I went on a little, 2 or 3 night away stay. And they served us this water one night. And I drank it. And I was like, this is the goat of waters. And so I started calling it goat water. It was really delicious. It's got such a good mouthfeel, very clean taste. It's hard to describe. I like the Fiji water, but this is in my opinion, a superior water. No knock to our Fiji friends, our friends from the Fijian lands. Yippee skippy, thank you. But Baron, first time super chat. I sent possible material for the negative space. But anyway, you're the best. You're brilliant and entertaining. You keep on keeping on. I'm doing my best out here. Sandy sees it. Christ is king indeed. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's very, very kind of you. A big opening foray into the super chat land, if I do say so myself. I had to remind my husband about the plane that circled the explosion at Tennessee that you covered last night. Hi, IQ Beeps. I don't recall one circling. I remember there was a plane that kind of flew sort of near it, not too terribly long afterwards. Why are you yelling at me? Baron, please read the email I sent yesterday. Explains what's stuck on the Fiji bottle and why it's important, from Ashley Carlton. Also, a video on that other app with a music note icon. I'll check it out. I have not read as many emails today as I intended to, but I'll take a look. What in the back seat looks like a picture of Charlie. I don't see that. I mean, is that one of those like Rorschach tests where you see something like this and some people are like, oh, it's a woman. Some people are like, it's a bullfrog. And some people are like, it's a space alien. And some people are like, it's a baseball bat. And it's supposed to tell you like if you're a psycho or not. It's a binary choice. The gravity just hit me. Yeah. That's it. It's a binary choice. It either is Tyler Robinson or it is massive. There's no small conspiracy in this. There's no small conspiracy. Now, do you believe in big conspiracies? Like how many people would have to be in on 9/11, for example? Do you believe in big conspiracies? I do. Random question. What does runner's interference mean in baseball, Rockies game? Should the player not? I'm not watching the Rockies game, but runner's interference means you interfere with the defensive player's ability to field the ball. And out. Far be it from me to defend Erica, but her saying she cut off the internet and hardwired, it is a crunchy, holistic thing. Wi-Fi isn't good for us. You think that's what you were talking about? I mean, maybe. I don't know. They live in a condo. You know how many Wi-Fis they can't control? You're definitely big in Croatia. I knew it, sir, ma'am. Christ is king indeed. I was aware. Big in the Balkans. Big in the Balkans. Unidentified piece of material near the pulse ox looked to me like the inside of a crushed 3D printed object. Fair enough. I'll allow it. Really been enjoying these last few episodes. Feels like it's close. Absolutely no. Y'all have proof of EK at Fort Huachuca. Allegedly, maybe, perhaps. Have to know your thoughts as a Catholic on issues with Vatican lately and SSPX Bishop Martin Synod on synodality nonsense. I've been struggling, a traditionalist at heart. I have questions about V2. Do you? No, I don't pay attention to all that. I once, I'll give you the advice a priest gave me a long time ago. I was having a little trouble with something. And it was really weighing on my heart and bothering me. And it was similar to what you're talking about. And it was the greatest advice. He said, approach your faith like a 14th century French peasant. Padre, what do you mean? They didn't know how to read. They didn't know how to write. There was one little parish in their little peasant town, but they loved God and they tried to live the best life they could. Just be a peasant. Jesus said, approach me like a little child. Little children aren't worried about what's going on with Bishop Martin and synod on synodality. They just love God and try to live their best life. You know, steep yourself in the sacraments. It was great advice. I've been a totally different Catholic since. I'm not saying leave Jesus out of it. I'm saying steep yourself in the sacraments, but don't worry about all that stuff. That's what I was told. And it worked out for me. I say it worked out. I'll find out when I get there. But I doubt when I show up, St. Pete's going to be like, oh, yo, 2026, Synod on synodality. What was your thought? Bishop Martin, did you have an opinion? I doubt it. When the trial starts, can the defense ask questions and show evidence like what we all know is that possible for them to do? Thank you for all you try to help Charlie. That's all you're doing, trying to help Charlie. Can the defense ask questions? Well, sure. The defense can ask anything they want. They'll cross-examine probably most witnesses, I would guess. Show evidence like what we all know is that possible for them to do. Well, I mean, so evidence is governed by a rule, a series of evidence, a series of rules of evidence. And so it would have to comply with those. But presuming any piece of evidence they wanted to introduce complied with the Utah rules of evidence, they could introduce it. Sure. I don't know what particular thing you're talking about. But, you know, I mean, there are times you make a strategic decision not to cross-examine somebody. I remember one time doing it. I think it was the right thing to do. We had, I don't remember the exact scenario, but there was a doctor, a treating physician, and he made a huge error, a huge mistake. And the prosecution, I felt like, realized it as they were walking away, but they were stuck with it. Unless I cross-examine the doctor and then they get a chance to redirect. And so I asked the judge for a few minutes and we chatted. And we made a strategic, I think there were 3 or 4 lawyers on that case. It was a military case. And there were lots of majors, there was 2 majors and a lieutenant colonel, I think, on that trial team. And we huddled, and I was like, guys, they're stuck with that answer. Like, they're done. They can't come back to it. And so we made the decision not to cross-examine the treating physician. It was a big decision. But I think it worked because our guy was facing like, I don't know, 25 or 30 years. And he ended up getting acquitted of almost everything, got dinged on some little minor charge, and ended up only doing 9 months. And it was what I felt like was a huge win. It's how do you define victory? When your guy's guilty, victory is not getting convicted of the worst crimes. And it was, so, I mean, you don't necessarily cross-examine everyone and ask questions to everyone, but most you do. Your intellect, energy, and consistency is inspiring. Thank you. Very kind words. Erica will definitely be there. She's not going to miss a shot at being in front of a camera. Well, she has so far. She missed several shots. She would have definitely been in front of the camera at different hearings. If TR didn't do it, should he take the stand in his defense and lay out how he became a patsy and who he knows to be involved? Well, no, you can't say that now. It depends on what the charges are. It really depends on what the charges are and what he did, because you got to tell the truth. So I don't know enough about the case to say that. I don't know if anybody does. The only screen time my 11-month-old gets is RBP. She'll be brilliant. Already is. Promise. Andrew out here challenge anyone to debate against the lone shooter theory. Again, that's so stupid. A debate against the lone shooter theory. That's not a debate. You can't have that debate. I nominate Mr. Coleman. He debated Zach Costello, but I'm not sure he's ready for Andrew Stout. He wasn't ready for the shift of burden. That's the problem. I've explained this. I'm not going to explain it again, but thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. Can you share the email? I'm done fighting with AI. For future reference, anybody watching, our email is available on the YouTube main page. You just click more under the description and it pops up. But it's realbaronpodcast@gmail.com. Been the same email for 10 months now. Please tell Moon's mom. I don't know what that means. Man, these one-liners get me. I only know one way to give it. Well, I didn't mean to say it. And as soon as it slipped out, I was like, get it back. And it was gone. You'd already heard it. That's not true either. Take your take on the numerous similarities in this case in the 1988 movie Snake Eyes. Names, outfits, dates, etc. Particular programming, OP model, op model. I chalk it up as just a series of really strange coincidences. But I don't know. Just sent email that proves pick of burnt cotton was the mic lithium battery. Christ is king indeed. I've probably seen it. I've seen it all on X. That patch they put on his body, that patch was on there to prevent the shirt from catching fire. At least allegedly, in my opinion, Christ is king indeed. That's actually a really interesting point. I mean, I'm going to really look into that because I think the blood smears on it kind of line up with what was on his body. I'm going to do a lot of thinking about that one. Christ is king indeed. Thank you. Tip for sticker help. Slide toggle next to the words live chat and change it to all messages versus top messages. May need to close and reopen after. Oh, so top messages will block it, you're saying? Okay, thank you. Yeah, I think is what you're saying. As a wedding dress tailor, this outfit fits. So grateful for you and Candace. Thank you from Bend, Oregon. P.S. I haven't heard anyone mention the obvious box cutter blade on the matte foil pick. Back to the pictures. Box cutter blade. Where's the box cutter? Matte foil pick. Where is it? There it is. Box cutter. I don't see a box cutter blade. Not sure where you're seeing it. If so, it's not obvious. Yeah, I don't know. Dude, midway through your open, I was saying, can I sign up for the Baron Coleman Law School or a master class? Go Max, Christ is king indeed. You don't need it. You can just tune in here. I just tune in here. You get all you need. Thank you for your prayers a couple weeks ago. I'm grateful to say that things have settled down and we're no longer in crisis. Prayers to you and your family, Baron. Thank you. I appreciate that. I love when people give updates to their prayers. It reminds us that we prayed for them and gives us hope. I mean, number one fan, Northern California, you're the best. Thank you. Appreciate that. Did you see Blake Neff put on surgical gloves right before Charlie was shot? No. That would be weird. Hey, Vice Principal. Thank you for telling the truth. Humboldt County, California. I watched a documentary on you people up there. They're all high. Christ is king indeed. That's all I learned in the documentary. The whole county. Dope smokers. It could be wrong. Might be. Just want to say hello. I was in tears tonight because you really wow me. You always do, but tonight was exceptional. Keep it up. Love you. Thank you. Thank you. That's very kind, Surrendered. Very kind. Ready to see Eric is going next? Yes, did. Could it be they had Tyler go out of town so they get the right from the house? Twigs? Maybe. I don't know. Was he out of town? I haven't heard that. Finally watched every episode. Told my kids we'd comment. 4-year-old now walks around calling his siblings Joe. Shout out to the feral kids, please, Baron. Yes, we have some. They show up at our door, too. Apparently our neighborhood has some. One thing I can't get out of my head is the 2 years Erica Kirk was in hiding, only speaking to her pastor and his wife. I think it was 8 months, not 2 years. I can't stand Blake, by the way. He behaves like a complete scumbag, in my opinion. Maybe he can't help it. What up, my B? Sending you love, hugs, protection, many blessings. Thank you, Shy. Appreciate it. Thank you for what you do. John Cullen did a video with Joe Kent, basically ranting about the drones being the cause and claims. Candace is only clearly a Fed. I'll bring it up. Thanks. Thoughts? Jesus loves you. I don't know why he's so hell-bent on the drones, but I saw it. Just found out my daughter's pregnant with her first grandbaby. Can't wait to join the club. Christ is king indeed. Amber is alert. Amber alert. Amber's alert. I like it. I'll allow it. Congratulations. You're going to love it. It's a great club to be in. Edge, I sent the colon super chat before you mentioned the clip. Sorry, I'm not psychic. Great work. Excited about Didi Revelation. And he did share the source. Read through X. Love the opening statement. Thank you. Read through X. It's a big task. Thank you, Edge. Y'all are so funny. My pickle is my finger. No, Sassy. That's not what you said. That's not at all what you said. I said it a couple times when the kids were young and stuck. They were into something. I'd say, get your pickles out of there. Love your show. And fun, high IQ community. Christ is king indeed. Well, that's what Brigitte said. Be good to get photos off Kennington's phone. Pre-paved over crime scene. Makes me sick how many people were part of CK's killing. Thank you, B. Christ is king indeed. They paved over the crime scene. They dug it up without having a paving contract and then paved over the crime scene. I don't want to forget that reality. We need to say it every day. It needs to be like our night prayers. We say our night prayers and then we go to bed. And right before we go to bed, we say, they paved over the crime scene and then roll over. Having good authority. Allegedly, EK's been using the same hanky. Never been wet, just tucked square back in her pocket. God said she could. You must have good authority. And please share with chat if they toggle the switch by the words live chat to all messages from top messages. It will filter out the stickers. Okay. Oh, I was wrong. Baron Von Go Maximus and Candace the Mark Lanes for CK. I don't know what that means. Sugar Smart and John Bray interview, chest injury mentioned a few times, but the 59-minute mark talks about lethality of it. There's a comment from previous show asking about this. Posits likely brain stem injury. Christ is king indeed. Okay. Concerning drop points, Splinter Cell video games have used the character to pick up his weapons at a drop point. Someone else had dropped it off for him to pick it up and use for his mission. Or maybe his mission was just pick it up. Thank you, my B, for all you're doing. Christ is king indeed. Thank you, my M. Hello from Australia. I was showing my husband the ex-military. Hello from Australia. I was showing my husband ex-military the devastation of the plant in yesterday's show, and he said that looks like air to surface missile to take out car park as well. Any planes fly over? Not at the moment of the bang. We've looked. Requisitioners who wanted the C4 purchased, number blank, contract office N00164, order the order. Yes, the contractor, please see email. I already know who that person is. I know who contracting office. Contracting office. Roger that. I thought you said the officer. I was like, I know his name. I looked him up. I've viewed his LinkedIn. I looked at where he went to school. Every time we turn around, someone else is involved. It makes you wonder, could there be people connected to the defense who's in on it? At this point, it's hard not to question everything. Thoughts? I think you're right to be a questioner of a lot of things. Make do. Yes, Danny gets it. Make do. Make do. I tell my kids that all the time now. Almost 3 months off alcohol for me, inspired by this high IQ outfit. Thanks, Daisy, for mentioning Alan Carr's book on how to quit alcohol without willpower. It worked. Christ is king indeed. Congratulations. And shout out to Daisy. And for other people, there's your key. There's your key. Your electrocution theory was the first RBP we watched. Never missed another. Compelling. How could that theory work with the exploding mic? Claiming #1 fan spot in Guthrie, Oklahoma. Well, just a theory. But if the idea was that you needed to kill him but simulate a gunshot, you would have something explode under a shirt at the same time that he's disabled by. Bzz. I mean, that's a theory. I don't know. Allegedly, you are all an inspiration. 100% Christ will always be king. God bless. We need to chant no more Fed slop. Noted. We'll take it up with the boss. EK says C has made a lot of sacrifices. Thoughts on C paying off her old debt with his life? She fell in love with assignment. He saves her out of her old world. I don't know the answer. I don't even know what that. I'm not 100% sure I know what that means. I'm so glad we found you. We love you, Bear. We can't handle when you and Candace are off. I really do pray we see justice. Thanks for all you do. Christ is king indeed. Yeah, I thought about putting out a message. Be like, all right, I'm going to be off for the next 2 weeks. That would make me laugh. These gifts are a big distraction. Oh, gosh. Coming in late. This is looking more like Idaho 4. Nothing the Fed slop says is true. Death penalty will be traded for life. Yeah, that would be unfortunate. Christ is king. Jesus loves you. Indeed. Thank you. Wait a minute. Finally became a member yesterday. Love your podcast. Watch it every day after watching Candace. Just wanted to say go Max for Charlie B. Christ is king indeed. Thank you, Jane Ham. Welcome to the grand jury. We have a good time over there. You'll have fun this week. Normal judge would probably squash my shenanigans. But this is Mormon Mafia. Spelling is not correct. Country. Lego case proved how this goes already. I mean, it's his opinion. I don't know much about it. If there's no other place to trust if you're involved, where would you suggest a Mikey McCoy or high up TPUSA go to come clean? Allegedly. A lawyer. That's the first place I would say. You need to go to a lawyer and get this worked out. Figure it out. Come completely clean to your lawyer and say, where do we go from here? That's what I would do. They're obligated to keep their mouth shut. South Valley Airport, 35 minutes from Orem. Blackhawks Military Airport. Could there be flights in and out? Also, security had yellow liquid in water bottles. Yeah, I think those were like electrolytes. I don't know. Forgive me if this has been said, but when EK said that it was supposed to be Candace, was the device ordered because of what she was doing in March, April, but then Charlie shifted and became target? I don't know. Oh, that's a good question. I believe multiple players had triggers for the Big Bang. Only one was the actual trigger. That's why they were all making strange motions at the time of the boom. I think they were all being blackmailed. Oh, that's interesting. None of them knows which one did it. Pretty fascinating. I hadn't thought of that. There's enough evidence to cause reasonable doubt. Yes. Yeah, I think so. Also, bottom of page 1 of order does not show actual delivery date. May 25 is just August 25 is required delivery. Line item 03 is for freight charge. Please see email. Thank you. Flow State advertises on gifts. Gifts okay, but no good with adverts on chat. I'm not getting caught up on the gift argument. Y'all can fight that out. Howdy, my B. Brian Harpole doesn't signal. He has on Meta glasses. #1 fan in Hondo, Texas. Christ is king indeed. You don't turn on Meta glasses this way, sir. Ma'am. Somali pirate. Christ is king indeed. That's not how you turn on your Meta glasses. Great job as always. Thanks for all you do, Christ is king indeed. Thank you, and you as well. I am so afraid for Tyler's life. It seems that it would be an easy way out for for conspirators. I lost my son when he was 30 years old. Motorcycle accident. The grief is unbelievable. I cannot imagine. Gosh, I can't imagine. Yeah, the Tyler thing is tough to stomach. Might be a wrapper. It might be a wrapper under the water bottle being magnified, not something stuck to the bottle. No, it's something stuck to the bottle. It's between the two. If they're actually paying attention, they wouldn't be worried about the giant gifts in the chat. Yeah, exactly. Pay attention to the show. The show's over here or over here. I'm not sure which way you guys are. I'm the person who sent you a text this past weekend when you were sick. We spoke on the phone a few months ago. Necklace and cross pendant. Yeah, I'm aware. Thank you. Oh, you're the one that said you need to talk urgently. I'll call you. I've got your number. Baron, could you please leave comments on screen until you finish responding? I typically do. Hi, Baron. I've been taking black seed oil since a nasty chest cold. Tastes like motor oil, but got rid of the gunk, so all good. Thanks and blessings. I say it tastes like wood varnish. I remember, honestly, this is my true story. I'm going to pull it. Ma'am, hold on. I'm going to pull this down because I'm going to tell a story that is only tangentially related here. So I'm going to pull it up and I'm going to pull it down. The first time I ordered black seed oil, I did not know what to expect. No one had told me anything about the taste. I put it in the teaspoon, like they say, give it a woof. It's not too bad. Pop that baby in my mouth and swallowed it. And I immediately thought, oh no, I've ordered the wrong stuff. I just drank wood varnish. It smells like it, like the breath, and it's hot, it's peppery. And I was like, oh no, I'm going to die. So I'm panicking. I'm looking at it. Oh, it says black seed oil. And then I flip around the back. Is this not for human consumption? I'm like, no, it says right here, take a teaspoon. I was so scared. But I take it a lot now. I think I've ordered like 9 bottles of it in the last couple of years. I took it while I had this little sinus thing. And I'm back, baby. I'm back. Back. My wife's going down with it now, though. Fox News reports Erica in charge. Yep, that's correct. That's correct. Hi, Baron. Laser Queen said she's out of super chat funds, but Alley Files just put out new SUV picks, including license tag number 3. Glad I could help. Yeah, I watched that. Christ is King indeed. Thank you. I just heard from Brian. I'm not dismissing it. I didn't see a lot in there that changes any analysis that I'm aware of. Like I didn't see any new picture that made it crazy to me. And the license plate's really not very helpful. Because they sold it. I just heard from Brian Inton that Charlie's parents and Erica. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. Praying for health, strength, safety, as well as good rest in Jesus' name. Thank you for all you do. B, love you. Thank you. Hey, B, Widow here. Check out MP Give Clean Water. Check out NP Give Clean Water. Hubs and I went with them to Fiji in 2014 to bring water filters to villages and schools. Families and teachers stoked to have a way to filter the water. Christ is King indeed. Thank you. Oh, check it out. Oh, nonprofit. I was like, I thought you were talking about a nurse practitioner. Fiji is owned by thieves who are stealing water. Oh, no. What about the goats? Are they good people? B, I spoke with Goatwater Main Distribution located in my town today, who we have an account for our construction company. I'm sweetening them up to give you some goat water. You deserve it. Oh, that would be amazing. That'd be amazing. Thank you. There are different sizes of Tagaderm. IMG? Oh my gosh. It looks like a small. Oh, okay. I'll check it out. ER nurse here, multiple sizes of Tagaderm. Transparent dressings usually used when we start IV, central lines, arterial lines, and tattoos. They did not start a line in the car that I'm aware of. There's nobody left to serve justice and put the conspirators in jail. Who's going to arrest the FBI, various police departments, the highest government officials, and prosecutors? I don't know. It's binary. It's none of them or all of them. Usually a $5 sticker means dollar contribution or less, which is why people are trying to flag it. I don't know what that means. My big goat water at Target, $2.99 per bottle. Not my Target because we looked it up. But thank you, Christ is King. Indeed. That's a little cheaper than they are where we got them. I'm so weirded out by Charlie potentially being so managed and infiltrated. And Erica will 100% be in court to forgive Tyler to his face. And to see the project to completion, IMO and allegedly. I think if she speaks to Tyler, she'll be in trouble. That's a big no-no. We'll be talking to the defendant. I imagine she will be advised to sit there quietly and say nothing. I can only imagine she will be advised of that. Or something weird's going on. As a nurse, first thing I thought of when I saw pulse oximetry was they used it to ensure he was dead before rolling him to the hospital. Oh my goodness. Gross. Stickers box chat. No reason to be loud. Okay. Put Meplex on a pork chop and burned it. It looks similar to CP Negative space. Send your email. I'll send Mepalex to email now. Okay, thank you. Send an email with the content. Oh gosh, you guys send a lot of emails. Last redaction. Go ahead. Thank you. It's not that I don't love your emails. It's just we get a lot of emails, and it's tough to go through them. And it would basically require me hiring someone full time just to read emails, and we can't afford that. Like I know some of the bigger shows that they have somebody that's what they do. We're not one of the bigger shows. We're a modest operation here, and we do our very, very best to put together a good show for you every night, each and every night. And we put a lot of time and effort into creating the show, and I don't want to take someone off of that in order to sit around reading emails. So that's kind of where we are. I don't mean to get frustrated about the emails, but that's why we don't look at a ton of them. I mean, I open them and I kind of filter through and I try to click a few here and there. But I do know this. I know Jesus loves you. Each and every one of you. It's a fact, Jack. There's nothing you can do. You can't stop it. It's happening whether you want it or not. I don't even care if you know about it. It's happening. Guys, I will be back. I don't know if I'll be back tomorrow or Wednesday. I'll make that call mid-morning tomorrow, and I'll let you know one way or the other. Maybe put up something on X, maybe a YouTube post. So if you got the notifications turned on, you'll see that. But I'll try to figure that out one way or the other pretty early tomorrow, just so you'll know. It won't be a member show. The member show, I think, will be Friday no matter what. But we'll figure that out tomorrow, whether we'll be live tomorrow or take the day off per usual. But with Candace not being here, maybe we'll do an extra show this week. I don't know how that'll work out. I got to run that by Mrs. C. She'll be the ultimate judge of making that call. Now she's the boss. She's the boss. Thank you for being here. Don't forget to like, subscribe, notifications, all that good stuff. Don't forget to check out Baron Coleman Clips channel if you'd like some merch, realbaronpodcast.com. If you have any emails you want to send that may or may not get read, realbaronpodcast@gmail.com. Don't email any other email address, please. Por favor, please. And I will see you guys. I don't know. I always like to tell you when I'll see you next, but I don't know when. It'll either be tomorrow or it'll be Wednesday. Have a wonderful evening, guys, and we'll see you soon either way.